since I could hold my head up high, and it's been a while since I first saw you.
Hey guys, it's been a while.
Wow.
Sorry to make you listen to Stained.
Stained without the E.
Stained without the E. Looks like we might clip our audio a little bit, so I'll turn our sound a little bit down. Ah! Yeah, sounds okay.
Since when have we cared about blowing people's eardrums out?
Yeah, we're not exactly the best audio podcast in the world.
We're the...
Welcome to the High Audio Fidelity podcast with Vic and Hope. We're here to give you the silkiest sounds with all of the s you can possibly imagine. You get the s, you got the then you got the s.
And you
It's
get the
all of your
breath
favorite
before you
sounds.
start talking.
Yeah. This is already starting off better than our last Vic and Hope recording. So we tried to do a recording last weekend.
Yeah.
And my Switch dock stopped working.
Ooh.
Because we were going to play Mario. And I couldn't get the Switch to work. So we tried to play Resident Evil for a Let's Play. And that was a fucking nightmare.
It was a shit show.
It immediately devolved into total shit. Because there's so many cutscenes you have to skip.
Well, and the game was unplayable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it was like the computer was chugging. Like we played the whole thing on my new laptop.
Yeah.
Because did I tell that story of why I had to get a new laptop? I don't know. People are gonna make fun of me. God, it's been a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while
since we made content for this fucking channel. It's been a while.
Wait,
since
gotta
we have free time.
It's been a long time, so let me.
It has been a while.
Let me get you an extra.
It's stereo.
All right, you ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, that didn't sync at all.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Oh, I didn't know we were.
That's why I said 3, 2, 1.
I was just ready to drink my monster.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna need a divorce. This is unacceptable behavior.
Divorce post haste. Yeah, we tried to do one last weekend on my new laptop, which I've got a NVIDIA 3070, bros. Pew, 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 pew. Which I wanted to just get a new graphics card for my computer, but as you all probably know, getting a new NVIDIA card is fucking impossible because there's like a global crisis of superconductors or whatever, which I imagine is probably why you can't get those. And scalping has become so rampant in our culture, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wasn't able to just upgrade a computer. I had to buy a whole $2,000 laptop.
Victor, what prompted you to need to buy a new $2,000 laptop?
So I already had a nice, like, fucking $2,000 laptop that I got for cheaper because I got it refurbished. But I had the Dell XPS 15, which is a great laptop. It's a recognizable name, you know. It's got some clout to it. But it's got a weird older AMD graphics card. And Adobe Premiere, the editing software, decided we don't support it anymore with an update.
Well, get fucked.
And so I had already saved my project on the new version of Premiere, so I could not roll back to the old version of Premiere without losing progress. So I had to buy a whole new fucking laptop to be able to edit a project that was taking me fucking ever, which I'm still editing.
Yeah.
It's been like 2 months. I'm still editing this
now.
fucking video. That's a whole other fucking story I don't want to get into. But, so I had to buy a new laptop, and it's great, you know? We played Resident Evil Village on it, which my laptop was already getting, like, blocked for graphics cards with video games. Like, I couldn't play Doom on it. I know, I couldn't play Doom on this computer.
It's just insane how
I couldn't play
fast
Doom.
that
No, I
thing,
couldn't play it
like,
on that, yeah.
became obsolete.
Yeah, well, it was already the last year's computer when I bought it.
Yeah, but that's only a year. Dude,
it sucks.
when I had a MacBook, I had that bitch for a decade.
Yeah, well, but you weren't playing video games and editing on it.
Well,
you know?
yeah, I mean, yeah.
And the other thing is that it depends on, like, the ubiquity of the graphics card, whether or not they're going to continually support it, because if there's hundreds of graphics cards and they have to update each program to use, like, they have to program it for each card, you know?
Yeah.
So eventually they're gonna let certain things go if it's not like a standard card. At least this is my theory on all of it. So I made sure with this laptop I got an NVIDIA 3070 because that's a brand new graphics card that is like the main line, you know? It's not like an offshoot that's like the one in my my other laptop is a specialized graphics card made for a laptop. So the editing program isn't prioritizing being available for a specialized graphics card used for some laptop, you know. They're going for the mainline graphics cards. I imagine. This is my excuse, at least. This is my only way of rationalizing how ridiculous this fucking is. But that's why I made sure I got a new graphics card so that it would be supported for, you know, a number of years, because people can't even get their hands on it, so it's not going to get replaced anytime soon.
Yeah,
you know?
the superconductor shortage is really fucking wild.
Yeah. And NVIDIA tends to have way better support with all this stuff anyways, and it's just a better road to go down for than fucking AMD graphics cards. Whatever, that's a whole fucking nerd conversation. I'm certain someone is going to give me a fucking diatribe in the comments about how I did something wrong. I don't know. All I know is you can only do so much Google searching and trying to figure shit out and unloading and reloading drivers on your computer before you just go, fuck it, it's done. It's not going to work.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, my brain glazed over just listening to that.
Yeah, it sucks. It fucking sucks ass trying to deal with all this shit. I hate it. So it's whatever. Anyways, all that being said, we played Resident Evil all the way through on this new laptop, and like we had some issues at first trying to get the graphics to work optimally and shit, but we ended up figuring out and it looked great. And then we tried to do a recording with it and it just ate shit. Like the frame rate became like unusably horrendous.
It was, yeah,
like
it
there was literally
fucking
like
nightmarish.
a half a second input delay on all of my inputs, and it was like, okay, this is literally not working. So we just canned it and scrapped the whole episode. That's why I'm just trying to chill and play Monster Hunter today, because it's something that's completely mindless. I'm not really trying to make progress. We're just doing a podcast, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, I just need to farm. I need to farm Teostra for a bit, so that I can get my hunter rank up, so we can fight the last Elder Dragon.
Ooh.
The
So I see you've switched over to the hammer.
Yeah, I've been using the hammer for a while. It was my favorite weapon in Monster Hunter World. And so, like, I used it so much in World that I didn't want to come into this game and just use the same weapon again. So I was using, like, the switch axe most of the time.
Yeah.
And I tried a bunch of different stuff, but the hammer is just the most fun. It's just the best weapon in the game. It's so good. Look at that. Boom. I'm like a fucking ninja. Ooh. Bah! All my fucking aerial strikes and shit. But yeah. But I can play this game pretty fucking mindlessly while we talk about a bunch of shit, because we have a lot of stuff to talk about and catch up with.
It's been a long time.
Because it has been a while indeed.
Hey guys, did you know the pandemic is over now?
Oh yeah, COVID's over.
COVID is over, guys.
At least
COVID
in Virginia,
is canceled.
like on the East Coast. I'm sure in like LA and New York it's probably still like pretty
a bit
masked
more,
up, you know,
yeah.
but like around here it's over.
Our mask mandate ended yesterday, May 28th.
Yeah. Even though, like, last week, everyone was as soon as they
already,
announced
like,
it, it was
masked
over,
off.
you know?
People in Target already weren't wearing masks.
Yeah.
And now we're in that, like, kind of awkward phase where, of course, businesses can still set their own rules as to if they require masks or not.
Yeah.
So, like, when I go into a Target, I fully expect no one's going to be wearing a mask. But when I go into, like, a local business, I'm not really sure what to expect. So I try to be respectful and like still wear a mask on my way in, and then no one in there is wearing a mask, and then it's like, well shit, I walked in wearing a mask, these people are gonna think I'm unvaccinated, I can't really take it off now, and I kind of just trap myself in this paradox of having to wear a mask even though I'm vaccinated, because now I feel socially awkward about it, like taking it off once they've seen me.
It's become super weird. And you know, like I definitely wouldn't want to debate, is it the right time to take it off? Like, I think there had to be a time, and if cases are going down and vaccinations are, like, there's way more vaccinated people than there are total COVID cases or whatever, you know? So, like, at a certain point, you have to be like...
Yeah, the Band-Aid has to come off at some point.
The benefits outweigh the risk.
Yeah.
And if it's like, if we've managed it, you know, it's hard because now the numbers aren't as readily available as they used to be.
Oh, no, they still are.
Okay.
If you actually go on your weather app on your phone, you can see the new number of cases and deaths in Virginia every day.
It's like I hadn't been seeing it on Twitter anymore. I was like, what's going on?
Well, it's because now in Virginia, we're hitting less than 100 new cases a day.
Yeah, exactly. So it's virtually gone. Like, it's never going to be 100% gone.
No,
you know?
but it's like the flu.
So, yeah, but if it's at a manageable level where, like, there's as many COVID cases as there are flu cases, then, like, that's the best you can hope for, and it's over, you know?
Yeah. That's, you know, That's pretty good. I think our death toll usually it averages around somewhere like 20 a day. Which of course not great. 0 would be optimal,
but it's not going to be 0. It'll
realistically-
never be 0. It's not going away. You know, there's never going to be a point where COVID is 100% gone.
Yeah.
It's going to be you get a fucking shot every year with your flu shot, you know?
Yeah. But that being said, now we're kind of in that awkward transitory transitioning phase where I'm like not really sure what to expect when I go into a place. And so it's still like that awkward, like feeling it out, like, how does everybody here feel about the masks?
And it's like, I feel a sense of, like, I want to have solidarity with working people because, like, it's it's mostly going to be the problem of the employees can't take their mask off yet. And that sucks for them.
For a lot of stores.
And so it's like, I want to go in and wear the masks to make it feel less weird for them, you know, like they aren't doing this pointlessly, you know?
Yeah. I mean, interestingly enough, I feel like the big box stores are the places where I still see employees wearing the masks, and then the local stores, I don't see them wearing masks.
Yeah, the local stores are all done.
They're all like, yep, we're good, we're vaccinated, let's fucking go. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't feel so bad not wearing a mask here because the employees aren't wearing masks.
Yeah.
But I think if I were to go in, like, Target or something where they're still, like, kind of requiring their employees to wear masks, I'd probably still do it just because
you feel bad.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry that you still have to do this. It's when no one else gives two shits.
Even at like weddings, I've been shooting weddings. I just shot one yesterday, and I mean, for weddings, masks have been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
Especially I did one in Maryland where the mask mandate was already over, so it's like totally out the window. But like the one I did yesterday, the serving staff also had to wear masks, and it's been like that on a few of the weddings I've done, and it makes me feel really bad because it's like now it feels like this fucking class divide of like, oh, you're working this gig, you have to wear your mask, you know?
Right. The bourgeois, and then the fucking
and the sentiment
workers,
of, like,
the proletariat,
and the workers are wearing the mask to protect you while you are not doing anything to protect them, and so it feels sketchy to me.
It's exactly like everyone thought it would be, where masks are now a status symbol of, you know, do you have the power, or are you the ones being forced into this predicament where you have to serve others?
And then at the weddings I've been going to, it's like, you know, a lot of these fucking people are not vaccinated, and you're gathering in like a group of 300, and then for me it's like, well, me wearing a mask isn't protecting me from the 300 people at this wedding who may or may not be vaccinated.
Yeah.
I'm protecting them from me. So what's the fucking point if they don't give a shit about me?
I'm vaccinated, so I'm not protecting you from anything because I'm vaccinated.
It's like, I'll mask off, and it's weird, you know? And I miss it because I like wearing the mask.
Yeah.
But now you feel too fucking weird. You feel like you're making a political statement if you do wear it.
Exactly.
Especially when you're in Chud country, which is where all these weddings tend to be, you know?
It makes me kind of thankful for the nature of my job because everyone is still required to wear masks across the board, like patients, us, everybody. I am totally fine with that. If we wore masks in like a hospital medical setting for the rest of our lives, I would be A-okay with that.
You'll definitely get some, like, if you try to wear it, then at the wedding or whatever, you will get some
people
looks
being
of
like,
disgust.
why are you wearing your mask?
Well, it's just like you see people's face of just like they're offended that you're wearing it because it makes them feel guilty, you know?
Exactly.
They feel
because
like
then they feel like they're being negligent, which maybe you are if you're not vaccinated.
Or they feel like you're being irrational, you know?
Well,
or it reminds them of politics.
That's just projecting, because if you have a problem with someone else being extra cautious and wearing a mask, that's something internally in you that you're putting out on someone else. Like, you have some sort of hang-up, some sort of guilt, that you feel the need to look negatively upon someone who still wants to wear a mask.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'll definitely, I mean, but then we're gonna go to San Francisco in a couple weeks, and like, I'm probably gonna have to mask up the entire time there. You know, you still have to wear masks on a plane.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have to wear masks through the flight.
And I imagine that in a city like that, they're gonna be wearing masks, and the mandate probably hasn't lifted there either.
Oh yeah, in California, probably not.
Yeah, it'll probably be a while. And I'll be with liberal-minded people that are probably still freaking out about coronavirus.
Oh, but once we get to Huntington Beach to see your parents...
Oh, God. Then it'll be mask off again,
Mask off, baby! Huntington Beach!
Except that's probably the place where you're going to catch it the most.
Yup.
Because it's probably a pretty low vaccination rate down there.
Oh, definitely. That's fucking Chud City, California.
Yep. Do.
So we're gonna go visit Vic's parents. Haven't seen them since pre-pandemic, obviously.
Yeah.
So it should be a good time. We're looking forward to it. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be my birthday while we're there.
If we have any fans that live in San Francisco, recommend some eateries.
Ooh, yeah.
some
Recommend
food
coffee,
places.
food, things to
Yeah.
do.
We're not gonna be there for a super long time.
I'm gonna have a day to kill.
Hope's gonna have a day alone, so.
So, yeah.
Let us know if we need to bring a gun.
I was gonna say.
I don't think you can bring a gun
Do
on
I
the plane,
need to
though.
bring like a pocket knife?
Yeah.
Like, do I need to be able to defend myself if I'm a female alone?
Yeah. Hoping I
Oh
can
yeah,
pick
you
up from the airport.
You can't bring like mace.
Yeah,
on
you can't
the,
bring
you have
any
to check
weapon on
it.
the plane, dude.
Or like a taser. You have to check bag the taser if you
Oh,
bring
but you
one.
can bring it in a checked bag?
Yeah.
Then it might be worth it just to bring a
don't-
checked bag, you know?
I don't want to check a bag though,
Why not?
cause it's extra money and they might
Yeah.
lose my shit.
True.
Airlines are incompetent as fuck.
I know, but you know, they might lose your shit on the plane too if you have to
But it's
pink
a
tag
lot
it.
less likely. It's so much less likely they're gonna lose your shit under the plane than
Uh-huh.
through the complex network of checked bags.
Checked bullshit.
Checked bullshit. Plus, yeah, if you don't check your bag is with you. How could they lose it?
Because they can put it under the plane with the pink tag or whatever.
Oh, I guess if they decide to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
But most of the time
They do.
don't.
No, they do that like all the fucking time. They do it every time I fly. I fucking pink tag a bag.
IDK, I pack pretty light, so I feel like
Yeah.
I'd be fine and dandy.
I mean, usually on like a flight that long, you'll be on a big plane.
Yeah.
So they probably wouldn't have to do that, but yeah.
But hey, yeah, if someone thinks it's worth, maybe I will bring my taser and put it in my checked bag,
Yeah.
just in case.
Yeah.
I don't like being, as much as I hate to be like, women shouldn't be alone, but like, you know, when you are a girl alone in a place you don't know, it does make you
Yeah.
a little uncomfortable.
And you know, California just has such an incredible like homeless problem and shit.
Well, I mean, you know,
It's like, you
that
know,
could
you don't want to be
it could happen
judgmental, but also
anywhere.
there is problems in places, you know, like. But whatever. Ah. Fuck.
Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
guys.
that's the big boom.
Riggedy wrecking
This
everybody.
is a hard guy.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I'm already running out of mega potions.
Uh-oh.
Dust of life.
Uh-oh.
We're probably not gonna win. Like every fucking time like half the 90% of the time I fight Teostra in a group, like the teammates die so many times that we don't beat it.
Oh. That sucks.
That's why I'm just like, oh, I'll just grind it on Vic and Hope, and hopefully we can get them armors. I did beat them once or twice, I think. You gotta get the right team.
Yeah. Speaking of post-pandemic mask-off confusion, we went back to a movie theater for the first
we
time.
saw fucking Kimetsu no Metsu no Yetsu.
Yeah. Yes. Kimetsu no Metsu no Yatsu, Mugen Train, The Infinity Train, Season 3. But yeah, we went to theater, we saw the Kimetsu no Yaiba movie. It
was the best season of Infinity Train for sure.
It was definitely the best season of
Holy
Infinity
shit!
Train.
Didn't we watch like a new season of Infinity
Yeah,
Train?
we did.
Oh my god! And we literally had nothing to say about it and did do a video.
I mean, I figured we'd just talk about it on Vic and
Yeah.
Hope because there's no way we have enough
forgot
to
that
say
was-
about a whole like a whole video.
That's how
just
long
not-
it's been since we did one of these. I totally forgot that even
Yeah.
happened.
I had it written down in my topics chart.
Yeah, it was like, do we really need to make another video where we piss off Infinity
No,
Train fans?
I don't even have enough to say for like a
yeah.
half-hour video. Honestly, I have like
I can't remember what the fuck happened because it was about like different characters that had nothing to do with like the other plots because it was like a prequel, I think.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of like an in-between prequel-y kind of season.
Yeah.
So it's about
So that ended with
two-
the lady taking over the train.
Yeah.
It's like, who fucking cares,
Yeah,
man? Like,
it's
you
like-
develop so little lore throughout that it's like, why even bother?
It just feels like okay, yeah, Infinity Train is of course social justice pandery kind of, you know, material anyway. But it felt extra pandery because you had like, you know,
Was it like gay brothers
the
or
two
whatever? Yeah.
they were
Oh, yeah, they were
weren't
best friends. They were
brothers.
best friends, that's right.
They weren't even gay.
They were BFFs.
But that was
but
the
they
most
were.
queer baiting shit I've seen in a long time.
It was very Tumblr queer bait era shit.
It was like, dude, we're living in a a world where like lesbian marriage was fucking aired on Cartoon Network, and you can't have these guys be boyfriends. We know you wanted them to be boyfriends, or at least you wanted us to believe you wanted them to be boyfriends. Just let them kiss. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Like, so
It had all your queer baity hallmarks of like
so
fan service
much.
moments and shit.
and it was like
why?
it's the perfect Fujoshi
What did I
bait.
say? Teammates died.
Yeah. It's such the perfect Fujoshi bait because like you've got your two POC Asian American guys. One of them is like the scrawny, wafy, really like punky kind of like has a lot of spirit and is kind of a wild card, and the other one's like a little bit bigger. He's like your thick calm boy, and he wants to do everything right and play by the rules. And it's just such the fucking Fujoshi dynamic you see in every queer bait thing ever, of just like these two boys who are opposites but they're best friends and they get along so well, and they have all these moments where like they'll be talking or they look at each other and I'm like, all right, they're gonna kiss, right? Or like one of them is gonna confess that they love the other one, right? It has to, and that never happens.
Used to the gay content.
I just like I've been watching queer baiting content since I was in middle school. Like, I get it, but like at this point you would think, and especially in a show like Infinity Train where they pride themselves on being so progressive, like really? You're not even gonna give me a gay kiss? Come on, guys.
Well,
Come
because
on.
now having actual gay characters is so pandering that it's not progressive.
Right, I'd rather queer
See
bait.
what the
It's more progressive to queer bait, did you know?
We have an event quest where we fight the Somnakanth.
Oh.
Whatever the fuck that guy's called.
Yeah.
So I need to see what he's weak to so I can get the right weapon to fight him with. Let's see. He's weak to lightning. That's great because I have an amazing lightning hammer.
Fantastic.
I spent a good amount of time in this game like actually grinding out the end game weapons to like be able to have a weapon to fight everyone with.
Yeah.
So I've got like my fire one, my water one, my ice one, and my lightning one. Need a new explosion one. But yeah.
I think my favorite thing about it though is the way that so the contrivance of the plot is that they formed a band together in middle school, and like the scrawny one stuck to his dreams of wanting to make a band, and he like traveled across the country performing shit gigs, while the other one was like, no, I'm gonna be a good boy and work a job and go to college, blah blah blah. And when they get stuck on the train together, it kind of culminates in this moment where they have to perform, and the big boy kind of like wimps out and like and runs off stage, and they have this conversation later where they talk about like the fear of their band not succeeding and why the one guy kept running away. And their issue with why they think their band won't succeed is they're talking to each other and they're like, I mean, look at the music scene. Do you see anybody who looks like us? And I was like, wait, your issue with your band not succeeding is because you're Asian and not because there's a billion shit bands that don't succeed in the world? Like, did you ever think about the fact that maybe you just aren't, like, you don't ever practice, you fuck around all the time, you're not really trying? Is it any wonder you're not succeeding? It has nothing to do with the fact you're Asian. It's everything to do with the fact that you're not a united front and you're not putting any effort into it.
Well, Hope, you're sounding like a Republican right now, you know? Lala hopped inside of a box, and it's very adorable. You guys can't. Oh, it's the cutest thing.
She's all the way in the box.
She went inside the box.
She's sticking her little head out. Aww. Oh.
I'm not sure what she was expecting in this box.
Oh, look at her. Look at her ears.
The audience can't see Lala right now.
She's so cute, though.
It is incredibly cute.
Lala.
She decided to do the cutest thing imaginable because we're recording and we can't appreciate it.
I need to take a picture.
Yeah, you take a picture.
Oh,
no, she's coming out.
No! Fuck!
What a rare Lala. That was a rare Lala.
Rare Lala right there.
A very rare Lala.
You're such a good girl. Anyway, Now, that isn't to say that there are not additional struggles in being
Yes.
Asian or a POC
Well,
in any industry.
Their heart was in the right place because it was a representation thing, and especially because Asian American representation is a big topic right now.
Definitely.
In current times, they were pandering with this bullshit. Like, don't give the credit for pandering, but they were trying to show take the representation angle of like, oh well, we don't see people like us in this industry, so it makes us feel like we probably can't have
do it.
even though, but it's
which is fine. That it can be a completely valid point,
Yeah.
but you're not trying.
Yes. Well, it's because it's the self-defeating prophecy. Where
Of
it's like,
course.
I'm not going to put in any effort because I think I'm going to fail.
Because I already know that I'm not going to make it, yeah.
But there's also, I mean, the real problem is that it came out of complete left field at the end, where it did not seem like that was a struggle they had at all.
You never felt like they were being discriminated against for being Asian.
And their race never came, being Asian had nothing to do with any of the rest of the plot.
They never seemed to, like, have any
Except
issue.
for, like, I think they had, like, a little parent thing where it was like, lol, Asian parents, am I right?
Your mom gave me oranges. Isn't that weird? Haha. Like, oh, alright, yeah, cool.
And I'm like, I know there's those fucking people that are gonna love that they did that, but it's also like fucking corny as shit.
I just feel like it's, it's kind of cheap to be like,
it was very cheap.
Oh, you don't have to put in any effort. It's all because the deck is stacked against you, so whatever. Like, no, that's lame.
Yeah. I can see it from the right perspective, but it's also, it was just lame in the context that they did it in, you know?
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong.
And when
I do
it comes
understand.
to music, I feel like if you have good music, people aren't looking at you,
Yeah.
Like, your image is kind of secondary.
Well, that
especially
and,
if they're doing, like, the kind of music they were trying to do. It's like...
breaking out in the music industry is incredibly difficult anyway. Like, finding a way to stand out in the music industry is unbelievably hard.
And of any industry, it's probably got the most diversity, like that wouldn't be your excluding factor necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, it feels like you're kind of taking a scapegoat, but okay, whatever.
They were just,
Now kiss,
they're just
Jesus
pandering.
Christ.
It's just pandering. Oof.
Especially the museum episode with, like, the shadow in the artwork. That was, like, big, like, oh my god, just say you love each other, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because they were having, like, their little fight.
This is the gayest thing I've ever seen that isn't gay, oh my god. And I've watched Junjo Romantica.
Oh, that reminds me, did you know that we're homophobic bigots?
Oh, are we? Yeah. I know we're the worst people, the worst white people on YouTube.
We're also insane bigots.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's because my clickbaiting has come back to bite me on a couple videos.
Well, there was that one time that you said, "What's up, my name?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that was the most bigoted thing I've ever done in my life.
That was the most bigoted thing you've ever done.
More recently, like, there was some comment left on our Adventure Time video about the Marceline and Bubblegum episode.
Yeah. We're homophobic because we loved that episode?
It's because in the thumbnail, I had made it a joke where it was like, it was them almost kissing and it says rated R, not kids stuff. Which I think anyone would probably see that and think that it was a joke,
Someone didn't get
to
the
me.
joke.
So we have this comment like going on a rant about how we're bigots because it's not even blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
so you didn't even watch 5 seconds of the video.
I'm like, if you watched 3 minutes into the video, we explain that on Facebook people were saying that this should be rated R. It was like, the fucking should not be for children and stuff, and that was the joke. That's why I put it in the thumbnail. It was a joke.
God.
If you had watched any of the video before you just clicked on it and left a comment assuming our position,
This is why I don't read comments on, like, our pop culture media reviews.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, yeah, it's just gonna be people that, like, don't get it.
It's my fault because I did clickbait, and that, like, the idea of the clickbait is to make you go like, oh, what the fuck? And then you click it and you're supposed to be like, oh, well,
oh, it's a joke.
Oh, it's a joke.
It's a joke.
But the problem is that you get plenty of people who just comment without watching any of the video, which is, I actually just privated our Is It Okay to Punch a Karen video.
Oh, yeah.
Because that one gets comments all the time.
Really?
And it's always, yes. Like, that's one of our bigger videos. Because,
that's so weird.
People find it, and then it's always just a comment based on the question alone.
Of
and
course.
no one watches the video,
Yeah.
And like, it's a great video if you watch it, and it's clearly a joke, you know? But most of the comments are just like, it's never okay to assault and stuff like just
Oh my God.
basic reactions of people who clicked it and left a comment immediately like it's a fucking tweet.
It really makes me wonder, like, how bored are you that you're on YouTube, you click on a video because the title enraged you, you don't watch the video, and then you leave a comment, and then you leave the video, and you rinse and repeat, presumably for other videos.
Yeah. It's
like, what are you doing?
My clickbait thumbnail and title was too good on that one.
Yeah, obviously.
Because it attracts people who aren't going to watch the video. And then, like, I guess this is the problem with clickbaiting.
That is
that,
the issue.
Like, people get baited and then they don't want to watch the content because they're just enraged by the thumbnail.
Yeah. So, yeah, all that being said, that was our thoughts on Infinity Train Season 4. Presumably what is being said to be the last season of Infinity Train.
Which is weird.
Which is a little bit disappointing. Like, that's really what you're gonna end on, is like this standalone season with like really not that much world building.
It was definitely not intentionally the last season of Infinity Train.
I understand that it's probably...
They had said that they had like fucking
12 seasons or something.
Planned or whatever. It's like, it probably just isn't doing very good because it's not a good enough show.
But here's the thing. Even if you have a bigger plot in mind, if you know that like that's probably gonna be your last season, well, you do what fucking Rise did, and you find a way to conclude that shit. Like, dude, come on.
Give them a fucking finale. Damn, we got 3 monsters hanging out right now.
There's 3 boys here.
Oh, God, it's chaos.
God. Oh, fuck.
3 dope guys.
There's too many boys.
The Somnicanth is very cool.
Yeah, I like Somnicanth a lot. He's really neat.
I would get a figure of him, and the Mitsu.
Yeah, he's really cool. I like how colorful he is.
And that guy, they're all fucking awesome. These are all awesome monsters.
I mean, like,
every monster in the game is fucking dope.
A lot of the monsters are super sick.
I love Monster Hunter design so much.
Yeah, they're really good.
Eh.
It's just so good. Like, the ecology of Monster Hunter is so cool. I love it.
And, like,
I love when people get footage of the monsters just, like, chilling when they're not aggro, and, like, the little behaviors that they have.
Yeah.
I had seen a clip of someone who posted, actually, the Somnicanth, in not this level, but a different one. Or I guess if you leave him alone, he's chilling for long enough that he starts singing, and he actually sings the like background music.
Oh, cool.
It's really neat.
Yeah. There's so much love put in these fucking games.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think he's one of the original monsters of this game too.
Oh,
There's
really?
only like a few, you know, because most of them are just rehashed from other games, as they tend to do. But
right.
He is one of the new ones.
I love that he has like the otter behavior and patterns too.
Oh,
it's such an interesting mix because you see how he lays on his back and he's got the shell.
He's so spooky.
But he's also like a dragon, and he's also like some sort of like, you know, sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
He's very cool.
I like him a lot.
Oh, see how fucking dope the hammer is, man. Look at all these fucking sick ass moves I'm doing.
But hey, yeah, since the last time that we did a video, I went to a different dermatologist about my issue with my tattoos, and this guy actually listened to me, and he suggested some stuff for me to do the next time I went and got some work done on my sleeve, and I did it, and wouldn't you know it, I didn't have any fucking issues healing. Wow!
Yay!
It's almost like when a doctor listens to you and tries to put effort into solving your problem, there's sometimes a solution that you can come to. Wow, who would have thought? Amazing. Thank you for listening to me and trying to actively care about my health. That's fucking cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Got 2 more sessions, boys. We're almost done.
Nice. Then you can show off that sleeve.
Yeah.
You can make a TikTok about it.
Yep.
You could be like, yeah,
There we
dude.
I'm gonna make a TikTok just for my sleeve.
You should do like a lifestyle TikTok where it's like you wake up and you make coffee and then you leave the house and you go to Richmond and you go to like a coffee shop and then you go get lunch and then you go and you get your sleeve worked on. You go, and then I went to Black Rabbit Tattoo and I finally got my sleeve done. You show it off and then you talk about like tattoo skincare.
Except that I fucking suck at social media.
You're just a lurker.
Yeah.
I'm a lurker too.
I much prefer to lurk rather than create content.
Look at him, he's dead.
He did.
He did.
Ooh.
Oh damn! I need to go back and I've been meaning to do some Monster Hunter Snap by just taking pictures of all the monsters to complete that.
Yeah, I always go up and take a picture of their dead face after I murder them.
I haven't taken like any pictures of monsters.
See, there's a problem.
Yeah.
Gotta take pictures.
We got him. We hunted him.
There he goes.
He dead.
He's dead. Bye.
That was the event quest.
There he goes.
They do the event quest, and I think it's just like a harder version of the guy that you fight, and then you get extra outfit vouchers.
Ooh.
So that you can do your layered armor sets.
Oh God.
That's what I'm wearing now. It's just fashion souls.
You got a passion for fashion?
Yep.
Nice.
It's just so you can wear whatever armor you want and get the benefits of other armor.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, so it just goes over your normal armor. Which is nice, because then you can hodgepodge shit without looking like a mess. Or, you know, if you need the benefits of an armor that looks lame, then you can just wear your cool armor all the time. That's what I've got on. I've got the Gus Harag armor on.
Oh, yeah. Nice. He's cool.
And helmet off, because I'm a cool lady.
Helmet off, boys.
Did my gender change voucher.
Wow.
I'm a trans.
Uh-oh.
I was a man and now I'm a woman. No! I'm a trans!
Ben Shapiro would not look kindly upon that.
Yeah, they added gender change vouchers with like the first big update. And I was like, fuck it, I'm being a woman because I played the game as a man.
I played the
bored of
game
being
as
a
a
man.
man, but now I have decided.
I wanted to be a lady. Dude looks like a lady. And then the female characters I always make always have like short hair and look like a cool guy.
Well, you just make them kind of masculine anyway.
It's because I make them like what I would be as a woman, which is a masculine, you know, which is a lesbian. I would be a lesbian, is what I'm trying to say.
Are you saying you're LARPing as a lesbian? Like it's a choice? Like it's a costume?
Is I am a lesbian
not a
woman deep down
costume.
inside. This is my
This is offensive.
transgender experience.
How dare you?
Everyone who plays as a female character is a closet transgender, okay? This is our society.
Yep, there you go.
I just think it would be cool to be a tough woman. I'm a strong lady.
Wow, I'm so tough.
I guess I'll fight the Teostra again, maybe.
Nice.
I'm trying to get to Hunter rank 50, and right now I am, let's see, 44.
Wow.
So yeah, it takes a little while.
Yeah.
God, that didn't give me shit for Hunter rank increase, so I should just keep fighting the Teostra, because that'll give me some more level ups at a time. Or I can fight the other Elder Dragons, if you want to see those ones.
Yeah, fight some different guys.
I'll fight the wind guy.
Nice. Very cool.
His element, the resistance. I think it's also water, yeah. Or no, it's ice, yeah. Wind is technically ice, I believe.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because they like loop in certain elements together.
Yeah.
But if you look at his status tree, yeah, because you haven't seen any of the Elder Dragons.
No, I've not.
Yeah, because Hope beat the central single player, and then you did not do much of the online.
No, I've
campaign
not
stuff.
done much of the online.
Yeah, Hunter Newts. So we're gonna fight the... Where he at?
Chameleon.
Yeah, that guy.
Kushala
Kushala
Daora.
Daora. So he's weak to... What was it, lightning? Yeah, looks like he's most weak to lightning. Maybe he's kind of water element. I thought he had ice attacks.
Go back. What's... Yeah.
I know the hammer
Yeah,
I got from him was a
lightning.
lightning hammer. Which is weird. No, it was an ice hammer. That's why I thought he was ice. Okay.
There you
I mean, he's kind of weak to fire across the board. Whatever. Anywho.
Anyway.
Alright, I already have my lightning hammer on. Got... Yeah, I'm wearing the armor I got from killing him, so... Should be good. Yeah, ice resistance. We good. I want to change the breastplate to... all the coolest armor in the game, because I'm the coolest. But I look the same because I've got the layered armor on. Alright, let's go fight this guy.
Yeah, get the boy.
Yeah, so we hadn't done a recording in a long time because I've been really fucking busy again. I went to Ohio for a week.
What did you cut your wrists and black your eyes?
I did cut my wrists and black my eyes, and my heart is still there in Ohio. But and I've been pretty much doing a wedding like every fucking weekend for the past 2 months or so because all the weddings from last year got delayed to this year. So it's been a busy wedding season. And so if we only have one day weekends all week, it becomes really hard to record and be in the right mood and have everything go perfectly to actually record something. And then we have the Code Geass video that's just
It's just been
sitting on my hard drive forever.
bay.
But hey, maybe when we finally finish watching Eureka 7 and record that, then I'll put up the Code Geass video, and then we can put them out relatively close.
Cool.
It's hard to get the motivation. I've been doing a lot of editing projects too, so like
yeah,
when
you've
I'm
had a lot of
home,
editing at home.
And then I am so bad at being productive at all. It's a difficult life.
Yeah.
I don't like working from home. I need an office to go into or something, so I'll actually get something done. All right, look at these guys.
Whoa.
Oh, he's got the crazy armor.
They're glowing.
That's from the newest guy that I'm trying to get to level 50 so I can fight him.
Ooh.
You gotta hit certain milestones to be able to fight the guys.
Yeah.
Oh, he's right down there.
Oh, nice.
Let's get him.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, God.
Whoa! Bah!
Damn.
Hit his wings.
He just said tink.
Okay, he's like fucking thick.
Yeah.
He's like armored,
He's like
armored
a big
the
old
fuck
metal
out.
boy.
Big metal boy. He's cool. He uses wind attacks.
Yeah. Very nice.
But yeah, so been hella busy. Shit's picking up. I'm digging myself out of the fucking hole because I've been in monetary oblivion from leaving the pandemic. But things are getting better. Having to buy a $2,000 laptop definitely made things
a
fucking
little harder.
far worse.
Yeah.
And there's a situation with cameras that is embarrassing and horrible. But I lost money.
Yeah.
It's been a money losing season. Now it's a money-getting season.
These things always come in cycles.
Yeah, but, you know, certain stuff has to go on the back burner. Obviously, by now, you guys can see that we have not continued content with Nate.
Yeah.
Just because there's no fucking time. Like, I don't have time to do it. We haven't even been watching anime on our own, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Are
there's
you
no way
even
I'd have
like,
time for that.
but are you guys even going to like continue content or
No,
like?
definitely
Yeah,
not.
that's what I mean.
Well,
it's like
we-
there wasn't really. You're not.
Well,
You decided the plan was not
Yeah.
really to do that.
We originally were saying maybe we'll do it, and
But
then
then
we
you
gave
guys
it a couple
decided
weeks,
not
and
really.
yeah, and we decided it's probably not going to work out, so it's gone on indefinite hiatus, and he froze the Patreon and
Yeah.
everything. So like, it's probably dead, you know.
Yeah, I would fathom.
There's been little conversation about it since then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, Nate's been doing his own thing.
Yeah,
You've
it's
been
just
busy.
it's just not feasible for me and him to maintain it
Yeah.
because I've just, you know, it was like.
I mean, I think it could be great. You know, it could be a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I think people would enjoy it.
It would be
but
great, but
feasibly, I
it
don't
just takes
think
too much
it'll
time.
happen.
You know, it's a part-time job. It like we don't have the time.
Yeah.
or
Which
the,
is a
the
shame because I think you
dedication,
guys have
know?
like good chemistry and it creates entertaining content. But
Yeah.
you know,
It's the organization of it.
Yeah.
It was already tedious and difficult when it was the three of us. You know.
yeah. I mean, I also feel really bad because, of course, you know, Nate and Michelle moved all the way down here
Yeah,
just
well,
for this venture.
As Nate has said, it wasn't just for that venture, and you should not feel bad for him. So I would not speak for him
Yeah.
on that regard. He's like, that has nothing.
No,
to do
not
with
trying
it.
to put
Yeah.
like, you know, put words in his mouth or anything. Just
Yeah,
you know.
so that was part of his logic in ending. It was like, you know, he didn't move down here just for that. People think that, but that's not why he did it. He also just thought it would be fun to be down here, you know. So, and he doesn't really care where he is at all. So that's
Yeah.
kind of why it's like it was better than where he was. That's why he came down here.
yeah,
and the content was a minor
it was a
thing
bonus.
but
perk.
he also, you know, Trixie has been historically very unreliable, and
Yeah,
so we
which Nate is smart,
yeah.
so I know he must have calculated for that.
we came into it with the expectation that it would fail at any point, you know, and we just
Yeah.
wanted to see how far we could push it. Because as me and Nate agreed when we started getting serious about content, which was a me and him effort, you know.
Yeah, y'all built the set.
yeah, we
y'all
built the
invested
set.
like all the money and time.
Yeah, I probably talked about it here, but like I was a big decision maker in the stuff they covered a lot of the time. I put a
Yeah.
lot of influence into like, hey, you guys should do this right now, you know. And I edited fucking a lot of the videos and all that. Like I was a huge contributor into content.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we started it, and I was like, so you know, right now it's the middle of the pandemic. This is the only time I will ever have to be able to put in the work to like try to do content, you know,
Yeah.
to make the studio. Like I would never have had the time to do that under like a normal year, you know. That's kind of why we were like, it's now or never. Like, it's literally either content works out right now or it will never happen.
Yeah.
Because it'll just be more excuses and more time and more, like, not making it happen, you know? You just have to fucking do it. So that was the mentality we went for it with, of like, oh, it's now or never, we might as well give it a shot. And then it, you know, it devolved the way everyone expected it to. So, like...
Yeah. But, I mean, there was always
it is what it is.
You were always cognizant of that risk, so it's not like it's a surprise.
That risk was always there, you know? It was always, floating around, like, this probably can't be permanent.
Yeah.
You know how it is. Don't want to talk any trash.
No.
Not more than what's already been fucking trash talked on Twitter.
Oh, God.
God.
Ay.
But, you know, is what it is. But certainly now I'm way too busy to fucking, you know, do it myself. Like,
Yeah.
because Nate was already, like, you know, trying to find other editors and stuff because him and his editor couldn't keep up with the editing load, and it was already going to be, like, reduced to less episodes a week and all that. And then it's like, I certainly don't have fucking time to edit content. I don't even have time to work on Vic and Hope, and it takes no effort at all, you know? Because it's also just a matter of, like, something that takes up more mental space, you know? There's a certain capacity of things you can focus on. And, like, especially my job, I'm in conversation with so many people at once and trying to keep track of all these leads and shit, and it's like, certain things fall by the wayside, you know? I'm already stretching my concentration thin. Of like, oh god, do I have to text this guy today? Has it been too long to follow up on that thing? Oh, let me message. Oh, now I gotta figure out my fucking car.
Yeah,
Jesus
the car.
Christ, here we go. Now I'm doing this edit.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can't focus your attention around. Which, I mean, you know, it's not like it would be too much of a big deal for us to, like, structure watching anime every night, but, like...
Yeah, we're just really bad at it.
Yeah. And then it's scheduling the recordings and doing the recordings and getting the footage on the hard drive and fucking editing it, and Nate has to do the thumbnails and the descriptions and all that shit. And it just takes up a bunch of mental energy to do YouTube. Uh-oh, we gotta chase the guy.
There he goes.
Anyway, I didn't mean to rant about content for a while. I'm just saying that I'm busy.
I'm a busy boy. Yeah.
I feel bad about
what you doing?
us not doing enough Vic and Hope content. It's been over a year now since we like kicked it into high gear. You know, it lasted for a little while.
Yeah, kicked it into
Pretty
high
good. But you know, I feel like
gear.
people knew that it was. I established that hey, the pandemic is going, and I'm gonna do a whole bunch of videos because I have time, and we'll see where it goes. And it, you know, it didn't really grow at all.
Yeah.
That's kind of the name of the game.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
It didn't turn into something viable in the end.
Ain't that the way?
And then you get busy again, and it's back to normal. We're back to normal Vic and Hope schedule.
Which is just kind of whenever,
Yeah.
once a month, maybe.
I probably need to freeze the Patreon. I think I'll do that soon, because I feel bad with
Yeah.
people giving us money at this point when we barely put anything out.
Yeah, it's complicated, but you know,
Yep.
ain't that the way?
Hope's heart's still in it. She's always trying to do Vic and Hope all the time. It's just it's
Like
hard
I
for me to do
said,
it.
I've tried to edit the videos, but your laptop was always locked, and I never knew the password when you were working. So I was like, well, I can't.
True. I
It's
need
like
to help
I literally
you.
can't get
I need
in.
to help you, but then I'll feel bad because you're editing the video.
I even
Unless you
did
have
a
fun
little
doing it,
did a
yeah.
little
You
research
have
on how to
fun.
edit. I used to edit when I was in
enjoy
high
doing
school on my shitty Mac.
That is true. I always forget that you're a YouTuber.
I did a little bit of editing.
Yeah.
You know, nothing fancy, but yeah, I got the job done.
Just, you know, Vic and Hope's not very fancy editing. Just a matter of like thinking to do it at the right time where I have time to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, there he goes. Yeah, but we haven't been keeping up with our anime obligations very well
Yeah.
anyway.
And we've been watching stuff, but we haven't had anything we're really excited to talk about, you know.
Yeah.
Invincible, kind of, which we can get into.
I mean, there was
thoughts
some
on
stuff that I really did want to talk about. It
Was
just
there?
never. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about Resident Evil 8.
Oh. We can still do a video on it.
I mean, but it's like the time, like
Yeah.
where we've moved out from playing it a couple weeks, and so now it's like, you know,
We'd have to like really collect our thoughts and sit down and make.
it's like when we just finished the game, I had a lot to say, and now we're like 3 weeks out, and so it's like, well, it's not all fresh in my brain anymore.
Because we used all our spare time to play the game.
Because right after we finished it, you went to Ohio.
Oh, that's when I went to Ohio. Okay, yeah. I was like, why did we do this?
Yeah, you went to Ohio.
Yeah.
But
That derailed everything in life.
it really did. But I watched all of what's out of Odd Taxi.
Oh shit, it's that guy. That's the Elder
the
Dragon
jet guy.
Damn, there he goes. Could have fought him.
Jet boy.
You watched all of Odd Taxi?
I've watched everything that's out of Odd Taxi, and I really enjoyed it. It's like a really chill do-da-da-da for adults. I'm like, yeah, I love this. It has adult characters, and they're doing adult things, and they're like, you know, just, you know, but it's still
Hanging
goofy
out.
and weird, and like shenanigans still occur, and it's like, damn, this is really cool. This is like B-Stars if you're not in high school. It's pretty fucking cool. I hope it has a good ending. And we watched some of Megalobox Nomad, which is pretty
Oh,
fun.
yeah, that was cool.
That's an enjoy.
I
It
was
feels
enjoying
very much like you know, the OVAs of the
Yeah.
90s.
Some good adult anime, you know?
And that's been really enjoyable. I still want
that new
to
armor?
try out fucking Mars Red and Pretty Boy Detective
Steel.
Club. But, you know, haven't really gotten around.
Ooh, sexy. Ooh.
You want to try, we
I
want to
not
try
heard that summer
SSS Dianazimon?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, that armor's silly. Cool, you're a witch.
Yeah, I know you like that one.
Oh, fuck. And since the last time we recorded, fucking Kentaro Miura passed away.
Oh god, yeah. Depressing me.
That was like, fuck, dude.
That's pretty bad. It's not
I
good.
was like tearing
very
up a
not
little
good.
bit that morning thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking sad.
I get depressed about it sometimes, where it's just like, he's just, the fact that he was working on this manga for fucking 30 years,
Yeah.
and like, and you know he probably knew how it was gonna end, and we might not ever know, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he had made
I wish he had, like, left it in a
statements
will,
in
you know?
interviews that like he planned on, I think, you know, kind of having a happy ending for Guts,
Yeah.
because even though maybe that wasn't initially his plan, the way he evolved and the story evolved over time made him, you know, want to give this character a positive, you know, resolution.
it's
Which I
just
think
so
is
sad
really
'cause you could just
amazing.
imagine so many ways that it could end, and it was just such a fucking epic, and it would be crazy and awesome if they still continued it, you know, without him, if he set out a plan,
I mean,
but who knows.
I don't know. I don't think I agree. I don't think if it's not Miura, I don't
Yeah.
think it
I
would be
mean,
Berserk.
But like, if it still is following the direction of his story, it wouldn't be the same, but at
But
least
it,
he
like,
get the closure he wanted, you
It
know?
wouldn't. I get what
Wow.
you're saying, but simultaneously, even though it's unfinished, I think the story and the development that we got is already kind of like a satisfying like arc to the character, because
Yeah.
like think about Guts from the beginning of the story and
Yeah.
and Guts,
I mean, the plot,
where
you
he
know.
ended up is like, it's kind of amazing. It's kind of perfect. It's kind of a great story that to exist in like our culture of like a lot of like toxic masculinity and guys who don't know how to like deal with their emotions. That you can see a character like Guts who's been through all this trauma and had all this horrible stuff happen to him, and instead of choosing revenge, like he heals. Like
Yeah.
that's a really important thing for, I think, people to see, especially guys who would be interested in Berserk anyway. For them to see like a character like that, and he's not like, you know, he's such a badass and he's so cool, but also, you know, he's found a way to heal after all of this horrible stuff that's happened to him. Like, I think that could convey a story to people that like would be really, really good for a lot of people to read.
Yes, and it is, and it's great. And at least, like, Casca gets her memory back and stuff. So,
Yeah.
like, that's kind of, you know, like, that would be really depressing
That
if
would
we never
really
got to
suck
that.
if yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, at least there was some developments in the plot over 30 years.
God.
Uh,
That being said, of
just
course
sad.
it's a horrible
Just fucking
shame that
sucks.
Berserk is going to be left unfinished, but
it would be nice, like,
I think it's kind of a testament to the kind of like monumental character that Miura was, you know? Like
Yeah.
I think almost feel like finishing it would be disrespectful.
well, it would at least be nice if there was, like, a release of, like, his plan for what the rest of the plot was, so that you know? That would be cool to me. Where it's
don't
like, if he
know.
wrote it out intending for it to be shared, you know?
I don't think he has anything written out like that
Yeah.
though.
But I wonder, because he was, you know, there was the whole, he was training all these, his underlings to be able to take on more responsibility and stuff, so, like, it seemed like he was preparing, you know, for a gradual shift away from him, like, drawing it, you know?
Hmm.
Who knows?
Who knows, yeah.
I guess we'll never know.
Now we just have to pray that fucking
I mean, it's kind of like with Satoshi Kon, where he was working on that last movie, and it's like, I just want to see what they had worked on, you know, and like know what the movie was, because it'll never be made, so you might as well just like tell us what it was about, like just share the script, you know.
now
Would
we
be
just have to pray that
interesting.
Togashi doesn't die.
Oh god, he will. He's never gonna finish Hunter x Hunter. And he probably doesn't even have a fucking plan.
I'm sure he doesn't. Jesus.
No plan and no intention to ever finish Hunter x Hunter.
Sometimes the burden of genius is too great, huh?
Yeah. Miura dying is way more depressing than Togashi
I
dying.
agree. I agree.
Hunter x Hunter at least
Togashi has
had
an air of like
a-
arrogance about it.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think Miura is. Yeah, he doesn't have that same kind of like.
And he was such a
arrogance.
masterful artist, and like
Yeah.
it made sense that Berserk takes so long to come out, and he was such a perfectionist, and
Yeah.
like he was toxic to himself in the way that he was perfect about the art of Berserk.
Yeah.
Whereas Togashi will throw out half-assed fucking dog shit.
Here's a bunch of absolutely shit-looking manga, but a really detailed roast turkey.
He's the
Fuck you,
Chameleos.
Togashi.
Oh, he's invisible.
Oh no, where'd he go?
This guy's super cool.
I like him. He's
Yeah,
neat.
he's a chameleon and a dragon.
Wow.
Ah, Rathlos.
Dude, Rathlos, get out of here. What the fuck are you doing, man?
I got a Rathlos head right here on my hammer.
Hey.
See, that's his face.
That is his face.
He dead.
He is dead.
I
Oh,
say you, he did.
they're having a little scuffle.
Ooh, can I get him? Oh. Yeah, no, someone else got him.
Ouch.
Fuck. I got hit.
Yeah, all you got was hit.
Eh.
So yeah, that being said, definitely at some point would love to buy the big fancy omnibus Berserk
Yeah.
volumes, especially, you know, now with all things considered.
Yep.
One day I'll get around to it, I know, I promise.
Not funny. Didn't laugh. That's how I feel about Miura's death.
Oh, okay. I was like, I wasn't
It's not
really
funny.
making a joke. But
That's
alright.
what I'm telling God
Yes, of course.
for taking him from us. It's more depressing than
think
fucking
it's,
Nujabes.
It's kind of disappointing that Trump got COVID and didn't die, and yet here we are, losing Kentaro Miura.
Yes. Well, because only good people die. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Not that he died of COVID.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yes.
Shitheads
Was
can
it like heart
can
surgery
get
or
things.
some shit?
No, he had an aortic dissection.
Is that not heart surgery?
That is not heart surgery. So
It sounds like heart surgery.
it's
surgery.
heart related, so you're not 100% wrong.
Yeah.
So basically, the big vessel that comes up off of your heart and
Yeah.
feeds the oxygenated blood to your body. Basically, what can happen is if there's a weakness in the lining of that vessel, the inner lining can tear away from the outer lining, and then blood can start pooling in that tear.
Yeah.
And if that tear then ruptures, that blood just leaks out into your body and you're
God.
fucked. Like, if you have an acute aortic dissection, yeah, you can die
Jesus.
almost in, like, within minutes.
Yeah.
It's
do you
really
think-
bad.
Is it the kind of thing where he would have known that he had a underlying problem, or would it have just like wrecked his shit? You know.
It could
Like,
go
out of
either
nowhere.
way. Some people have, like, acute aortic dissections, and, like, you can have, like, searing chest pain or
Yeah.
not. It totally just varies. So it's like, you know, if he already had health conditions, it could be that he was used to feeling like a certain level of shitty and maybe he ignored signs. I don't know.
Because to me, it seems like he probably would have known that he had, like, bad health conditions going on, and I think that's why he would have been trying to get more people to handle his work.
I think that's definitely a reasonable assumption.
Yeah. Which is, that's the only reason why I think there would be a continuation of Berserk, is if he already knew he had, like, these bad health conditions and he thought he could die at any point, you know? Then I imagine he would have set out a plan to continue it. And if he set out a plan to continue it, I would feel fine with it continuing. I wouldn't feel good if the publishers had his plans and just went like, oh, we're going to continue Berserk. Like, no, that sucks. But if it was like his dying wish for his...
I don't think it was his dying wish.
Yeah, then it would be cool. But if that's not the case, then it would suck ass.
I mean, I'm sure we would have probably heard something. Because, I mean, his publishers sat on the news for 2 weeks before they informed, you know, the media.
But, you know, maybe they were having a conversation about what they were going to tell the media, you know?
I mean, definitely.
Did they want to continue Berserk without him or whatever?
I'm sure they were absolutely formulating a PR strategy.
Yeah.
Oof.
And being respectful. You know,
well, yeah. Yeah, you gotta, I mean, you
the
definitely...
Japanese tend to be
I think
more
that's
respectful over
definitely
death
a better
than we
alternative than what America does, which is just...
We just Twitter
fucking,
finds out before your family.
It's fucking Twitter trending within 30 minutes.
Yep. That's how you find out family news these days. You go on Twitter and see what's going on.
Yeah. There you go. As always, fantastic. But, yeah. Definitely, thinking about, what I could, if I could get a sick Berserk tattoo sometime in the future, what I might like to get.
Had to be something really
would be
dope.
Would be worthwhile, I think. There's so many gorgeous panels in the manga that you could get any Berserk panel and it would be a fucking sick tattoo.
Yeah, you gotta find the perfect artist to do it.
Oh, there's lots of artists on the East Coast that I've seen do like Berserk tattoos that are gorgeous. So I have no doubt I could find somebody.
I hit him. I hit him.
Nice.
I get him. I get him. I hit him. I hit him. I get him. I get him.
I feel like Mark of Sacrifice is a little too predictable, so
I mean,
a manga
I wanted
panel
that
would
one
be pretty
before,
dope.
but like, it is like a lot of people have it, and it never looks as good as I want it to. You know?
Well, yeah, because you know
just looks like
it's
some
a
rude...
scar on the characters. On you,
when they try
it's
to
a tattoo.
When they try to make it look like a scar, it's the worst.
Yeah, you're
Like,
better
no,
off
just do
doing
the
clean
rude,
line work.
like,
yeah,
or just scarify yourself. Jesus Christ.
no.
Brand, like actually brand your skin.
Don't
the
do
only
that,
way to
kids.
make it look right.
No, we're not. We are not endorsing that. Do not do that.
Yes, don't brand
Please.
yourself. I feel like I shouldn't have to tell you not to brand yourself, but you know.
You just never know. Your orange pollen was stolen.
Orange pollen?
Your
What?
orange pollen was stolen.
Oh yeah, he steals things.
Yeah,
doesn't
he's a little thief. A little
I
sneaky
thought
thief.
the other guy was the steely guy.
No, this
the
is
guy
him.
who carries around the fruit.
Nah.
The
I mean,
Kulu or whatever.
Bisha will steal, but
Bisha-ten too.
Chameleos is the big stealer.
The big steely boy.
The big stealer.
Steely Dan.
Yeah, I was gonna make that exact joke.
Bah!
Oh well.
God,
Anyway.
there's nothing more fun than fucking launching yourself into the air and charging up a hammer strike and smacking a monster in the face with it. That's the height of the game. I can do it forever.
Now this is what Monster Hunter's all about.
I just want to mindlessly jump around with my hammer and smack monsters in the face. I just want to see it go purple and then blue and then light blue and then boom 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 boom.
Very nice. Oh, we also watched The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Oh yeah, that was
on
pretty cool.
Netflix.com.
Yeah, that was another one where it didn't feel like we could do like a whole video
Yeah,
on it.
no, I don't think there was a whole video's worth of content.
Yeah, it's
To be
pretty
sad,
good.
but it's pretty fun.
Not amazing. It's pretty passable. It's okay.
I mean, I would much rather watch that than any Pixar movie.
I think so I was trying to pinpoint the feeling I had about it because it's like it's obviously like it feels like groundbreaking animation that's blowing my mind. It's gorgeous to look at and I love every minute of it, but it's also like corny and easy and stupid and like completely unoriginal. But I think it reminds me of the studio that does Paranorman and stuff.
Oh, it reminds you of
the stop motion
Laika.
guys. Yeah. because they have like the most amazing animation in the fucking world, and I love it aesthetically. All their movies are gorgeous. The technique is so fucking jaw-dropping amazing, and I love that they exist, but they have to do the safest movies ever with the most basic plots, and they're just not like Kipo and the two strings or whatever. Kubo the two strings. Kubo.
Yeah.
It was just like not good.
Yeah.
It was a lame fucking movie.
I do
with
hate
an easy
to agree,
plot.
but it's not a very good movie plot-wise.
And it's like I want to love it because of how gorgeous it is, but like they just give you the most bare bones plot imaginable, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, but I get you're trying to play it safe because these movies cost a ton of money. And like it's for you, it's more about like the technique and the animation. You know, it's like the movies are a conduit to practice this beautiful art form.
Yeah.
And so, on that regard, you know, it's like this is a niche kind of movie, and it has to appeal to kids if it's gonna make any money. And like those movies always barely make their budget back. You know.
Yeah, if that, they often lose money.
But then it's like, but it feels like if you actually made like a real cult classic, you'd make more money, you know? Like if it appealed to kids, because of course it's going to appeal to kids, but it also like was a really great movie that everyone recommends and stands the test of time, I feel like it would make more, but I don't know.
Well, herein lies the problem, though. You know, by and large, you can't just like sit down and like write a masterpiece.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that easy.
And yeah, it's one of those where it's like for a movie like that, it probably starts at the art direction level where they're like, man, we want to animate a movie about like Japanese mythology and stuff. We have these artistic ideas, and then they make a plot around that, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And so that's probably where it comes out kind of weak. Same thing with like Mitchell's versus Machines. It's like they clearly had like a lot of aesthetic ideas in mind
Yeah,
for
definitely.
certain things, and then like the plot was kind of like, well, let's make a family movie.
Yeah.
And it's like cringy as fuck.
It is.
And
it
if it
has
weren't
that
so
issue
beautiful, you wouldn't give a fuck about it.
that
you know?
some movies have, where like you feel like kind of at the end of like the second act, you're almost like, is the movie almost over? Like, is this
And then there's a
it?
big action
And then
scene
there's
that
more,
goes
and
on
you're like,
forever,
oh
but-
no, okay, it's this, yeah, it's one of those movies.
Like, I actually really like. I've heard complaints about the pacing of the movie, but I really liked the pacing because it cut to the chase and like didn't
Oh yeah,
lead
that's.
you on. You know?
it's one of those things where
It didn't lead
you
me
kind of
on
have
with,
to go like, wait,
like-
is this the climax?
Yeah.
Or no? Okay, no, it's not.
I was just glad that it didn't spend too much time on like the family road trip beyond it got to the point. The machines are rising up and they fight the machines.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to fuck around too much with like the incredibly basic plot of dad doesn't want me to go to college
Yeah.
and I want to go to college.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Which
it's
is really like, I don't want my daughter to be a fucking artist. God, why?
yeah, that's really.
Why?
Which I mean-
well, I'll send you to college, but film? God.
But I mean, hashtag relatable for a lot of us.
Yes, exactly.
You know what my parents would have done if I went to school for some sort of art degree? Oh my god.
What was it that she was taking a class in at the end?
Oh, app development? No. Face filters. Face filters. I was like, bitch.
It's
Yeah,
like,
but really
you
though?
went to film school and you took a class on fucking face filters? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You were wasting your goddamn time and money. What are you doing?
That was pretty bad.
Why would they be teaching you about
Because,
face
like,
filters in film school?
The
God.
whole movie, they show you that she has like this passion for like editing and special effects and like After Effects, and then she takes a class on fucking Snapchat face filters, and you're like, okay.
That was so. Probably part of the reason why I didn't like the movie that much was that I was just fucking severely hemorrhaging at all of the film student.
You were
reference
just
shit,
mad
and,
because
like,
you were a film student and this upset you because
And
that's
her,
what it was
like,
like to be in film school.
her YouTube stuff, but it doesn't resemble anything like what like actual kids are doing, you know,
Yeah.
and like. And how shitty it would have been. Like I get that kids do some amazing shit on TikTok now, but like her stuff all looks too cinematic and like amazingly well done, and it's just like, come on, movie, give me some
Well,
home video looking
you know,
shit. Like, what are you
it's-
doing?
It's definitely portrayed through the lens of like older millennials who, you know, they're not really in touch with how this stuff actually looks nowadays. It's like, yeah, that would have been, I guess, the coolest version of what it could have been when, you know, YouTube in the early 2010s, but now I don't really think anyone goes for that.
Yeah. And it's just, her stuff is too good, you know?
Yeah.
It's too
It's
funny
very
and like
technically,
good and
yeah.
technically good. And it's like, give me some stuff like home movies. Like the cartoon, you know? Do you ever watch that?
I think I've seen like 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, but that's like the whole thing is that the kid wants to make movies and stuff, and all the movies, it's like similar stuff where it's always like, oh, they make like a box fort movie thing about a cop or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like incredibly horrendous, you know. It's always like the worst script and the terrible acting and everything. Like that's what I need to see.
It's like any number of the little films I did in high school where you were
Exactly.
given a project and then I just decided, fuck it, I'm gonna also do a bunch of weird shit.
Yup.
That's what it's really like.
Like what me and Trixie would do back in the day with our Franklin D.
Like,
Roosevelt video for Project Awesomeness.
Like taking an assignment to make a commercial in Spanish, but then also making it a episode of Pokemon, like I did.
I did that for a Japanese class.
Oh man,
Where I made some fucking terrible
it's
fucking
bad.
video.
Oh my god.
And it was just like, well, the teacher is gonna be so fucking blown away that they're gonna give me an A because I made a video, and that's like people think that's more effort than like the other projects,
right.
but it's really
People are
not.
like, oh, cool, you edited a video, and then the reality is like, no.
This took literally no
It's
effort.
bad. It's bad.
I figured this out in a couple hours, and now I'm
Yeah.
treating it like it's the greatest thing in the world.
But you feel really cool when everyone's like, whoa, did you edit this?
Well, all the kids in your class think you're a fucking loser, but the teacher is blown away.
Oh no, the kids,
Really?
Yeah, there were kids
Wow.
in my school who
The
were like,
kids
will you
actually
edit our
enjoyed
project
your
too?
videos? Amazing.
I was like, I guess. I don't
For me,
know.
it was always like dead silence from the class, and then the teacher's
Oh, I
like,
mean,
"Whoa,
not-
you made a video!"
Not everybody, but some kids.
Yeah. Nah, I had incredibly negative reviews of anything I ever did in life. You know how many fucking kids in high school in 9th grade I tried to make watch Project Awesomeness?
Oh, a lot, I'm
God.
sure.
It was like one. You know, there'd be like the one kid at the lunch table who's like, "Yeah, it was cool. It was so funny."
That's
You're like,
that's the problem with foisting your passion projects off on
I'm
your
a
friends.
filmmaker. I directed this. Lol.
Yep.
That's why I took theater in school, because I was trying to find actors so I could direct these movies.
You wanted to direct a mover.
Yeah. Movers.
Oh man.
Grass, get that grass. Herbs.
But yeah, we also watched Invincible.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That's definitely one I've developed a great fondness for it. Because like we went into it.
I was gonna say, we
Yeah.
should say, we went into it, I knew what I was getting into, and you did not know
I
what
had
you were getting into.
literally no idea what it was, like, at all. I had no fucking clue. I didn't even know it was a fucking cartoon until we were, like, looking at it, you know? Well, I guess I did know it was a cartoon.
But
So you're like, oh,
you-
there's a cartoon on Amazon. I was like,
You
oh,
don't
let's watch
really-
a cartoon.
You don't really lurk on the same ends
Yeah.
of Twitter that I do,
I
so
do not.
I understand how you missed it, and you weren't aware of it, really.
I had no idea of what it was. I just knew that there was a cartoon and it had a superhero on the front. Which was, you know, I think that's the best way to go into it, because I completely did not see the twist at the end of the first episode coming at all. And I think it sucks that the conversation around the show has become about, like, the violence and everything, because
yeah.
it spoils the premise, which is, like, I didn't see it coming at all, and I think that's what
Right.
it wants you to feel like, is, like, it comes out of complete left field that it is so violent, you know?
Yeah, because for the first, the first episode's like 40 minutes long, and the
Yeah.
first 30 minutes are like a pretty, like...
No, it's literally the last 30 seconds that
I
shit
guess it is the
happens.
very
It is
tail
the
end of the
very
episode.
end. You spend 45 minutes with no violence at all. Beyond, like, normal superhero fighting. You
beyond
know?
like
But no
something
one
you'd see
dies,
in Justice League,
there's no gore or
you
anything.
know,
It
Young
gives,
Justice.
It gives no hints that it's going in that direction at all. Like, there's hints that there's going to be a twist and that, like, Omni-Man might be a bad guy or whatever, but, like, I did not expect him to come up and start ripping heads in half and shit. And so when I saw it, it kind of, like, made me feel icky.
Yeah, you
was
had a
like-
really negative reaction
I
at
was
the
kind
end of the first
enjoying,
episode.
like, that it just felt like this sincere kind of Justice League cartoon kind of thing, and I was like, oh, cool. And then it went super edgy at the end, and I was like, oh, is this just gonna be like edgy dog shit, you know? Like, is this an edgy show? And so I was very hesitant, and I didn't know if I wanted to watch more, but then it kind of stuck with me because I liked the rest of the episode, and I was like, oh, there's kind of the interesting thing with the kid and his dad. I'm like, all right, well, we'll get back into it. And then I loved the whole rest of the show, you know? It grew on me a lot.
I think that's really what makes the show so memorable and appealing, is that, like, it's like a really violent show, but it's also really wholesome.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not
like
super
Mark
edgy at all,
is
really.
a really wholesome character, and he has, like, a lot of the, you know, like standard any kid could like basically act or feel this way, but he has superpowers.
Yeah.
And he kind of gets thrown into a lot of
just
course,
making sure we're recording,
the
which
bullshit.
I'm afraid because we're not getting a. Okay, we're still recording.
Okay,
Thank God.
that's good.
The computer like seemed like it was asleep, so it made me really afraid that the recording stopped because we're deep into it.
Yeah, we're
very scared.
in too deep.
Anyways, continue.
But yeah, so it's simultaneously like very, very wholesome, but it has that edge of violence that makes it like a really interesting kind of dichotomy.
At the end of the day, like most of the show is about this high schooler having a coming of age story, and his shenanigans.
I mean,
so it's pretty normal.
Most of the stuff that happens is something you could see in like Young Justice.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that different from Young Justice, except for for
hyper violence on certain
but
occasions.
It feels less edgy to me than Young Justice, you know?
Yeah, in a way.
Because Young Justice leads into like the dark edge and cool, oh, whoa, and it takes itself really seriously, and it's so melodramatic sometimes.
Yeah.
Whereas Invincible felt like way more of like an adult sort of drama,
Yeah,
but it
it's
never
definitely
felt like annoying.
like Young Justice geared towards adults. Like actual adults, maybe.
Yeah, I got the full
but
hot armor. Let's see.
I especially, of course, enjoyed the Omni-Man reveal and the way that it kind of makes you think about the fleetingness of, you know, a human life and how small, you know, you really are. And you're like, yeah, that's true. And you like it hurts you when he talks about, you know, how Omni-Man doesn't feel like he actually really has any connection to this earth or like his wife, and he says that he sees her as a pet, and you're just like, I don't like that.
Now I have my hat off. I needed to turn the hat settings back on. How do I do that?
Hatto.
Is it in this menu? Sorry, I want to talk about Omni-Man and shit, but I need to put my
But
hat
you're
on.
looking for your hat.
I want to show you my hat.
I want to see the hat.
I need to put the hat on. Some options. Where's my hat?
Hey
Show
guys,
my hat.
welcome to Hat Hunt.
Show
We're hunting
the
for
hat.
the hat.
Show me my hat.
Where's the hat?
Where's
Show
my
me
hat?
the hat.
Is it in appearance settings? No.
Show me the ancient Japanese man hat.
Because there's the hat. It's cool.
It is a cool hat.
I want to see it on my character. And I don't remember where it goes.
Uh-oh.
Equipment display. There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna
hat.
say.
Because you can just like take off all your clothes.
Oh, neat.
If you want. If you think one part is dumb, you can just
You can
take it off.
take it off. Very cool.
No pants. The poopy pants are funny.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I didn't save it. There.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh, I look like a badass.
You look like a Final Fantasy mage.
Because I made it black. You can change your colors.
Mm.
Where's the colors?
Well, there was a change armor pigment option there.
Oh, where?
Back down in the, I think, layer appearance settings, or armor pigment.
There we go. Yeah. Ooh, see the default is purple.
Oh.
Yeah, like the Chameleos.
I see. Yeah, definitely prefer
The black.
the black.
Yes. The black.
I'm not really a fan of like big purple. Kind of like a little gaudy for my taste.
Let's go fight the chameleon again. Yeah. As we grind our way up to Hunter rank 50.
Ayy,
Oh, we're at 47 now after killing those 2 Elder Dragons, so we're doing
nice. You're moving on up.
good. Yeah, we're moving up in the ranks.
Moving on up.
Anyways, yeah, so I feel like there's a bunch I wanted to say when we fucking watched the show that I haven't heard anyone say about like the themes and Omni-Man and shit, because everyone wants to fixate on the violence.
Of course.
And not really what the violence means and implies and what it's symbolically there for, and sort of what I think the influences behind it are, because it's definitely, you know, there's a certain sort of genre of like subversive superhero media, and like The Boys falls into that.
Yeah.
The original was The Watchmen, like that's kind of the OG subverting superhero tropes kind of show or comic, and then stupid
movie.
Zack Snyder movie. But like there's this whole spiel. Like Omni-Man is what's his name? Mr. What do they call him? The big blue guy.
Oh, you're asking the wrong person.
Can't remember. The big blue guy from The Watchmen. You guys
Naked
know who I'm
Blue
talking about.
Man.
Naked Blue Man. Anyways, like, there's like all these subvertive materials always have the Superman subversion, because Superman is, you know, what in DC universe lore, people usually find Superman to be the least interesting character, because when he's a good guy, then he's perceived as like this invincible thing that kind of ruins all of the tension in any plot. So the common subversion is to go, what if Superman was bad?
Yeah.
And so there's all these different examples of what if Superman was bad. So in the Watchmen, it's what if Superman was bad because he was, you know, first it was what would happen if like we had superheroes during the Vietnam War, and sort of the world that the Watchmen takes place in is a world where they won the Vietnam War because they had fucking Dr. Manhattan. That's what he said.
There we go. I was like, isn't he like it's a doctor or something?
Yeah, Dr. Manhattan. So they had Dr. Manhattan, so he comes through and annihilates everyone, and they win the Vietnam War and stuff. And so it's like, he is the representation of like, what if Superman were there? You know, we would have won this war, that war, whatever. And then Dr. Manhattan goes further into, like, he becomes sort of this enlightened being because he's so ridiculously powerful and sort of omnipresent, and like he kind of has a different perspective on time and all these different concepts because he like exists in this other altered state, and he loses his humanity as he kind of becomes like a god, you know. He's like a literal god among men, and so he starts to perceive the world differently. Did I not eat? I thought I ate.
I don't think you did. Didn't you?
I thought I did.
I thought you did too. But yeah, it didn't say that you had any dongo skills.
I guess I didn't.
Okay, well.
Oh, it's because it failed, because I tried to enter one and then it kicked me back out.
Mm.
But anyways, yeah, so he becomes this transcendental guy, and so he goes off into space to live alone. And during the Watchmen movie or comic or whatever, the original, the girl who was in love with him or whatever, she is with him on Mars or the moon or something. And he gives this whole long speech about like the fleeting nature of humanity and everything, where like he's talking about like microorganisms that live in the span of a second, and their entire lifespan is that short. And so humanity in the grand scheme of the universe, we're just this speck that exists in this incredibly specific period of time, and like in the grand scheme of the universe, we only exist for a second, you know, like a microsecond.
Baby's first big think.
Yeah, baby's first big think, and he goes on that whole spiel. And so I think Omni-Man is really a play on that idea more than anything else, more than being just a Superman, because he is a creature that lives for presumably thousands of years. Like, that's part of his speech at the end, is that he's making the same speech that Dr. Manhattan made, which is, these people are a blip. They exist for a tiny, tiny fraction of my life, and they're so insignificant. Like, I could feel love for this period of time, but it's fleeting. I've experienced this many times over because no one lives as long as I do.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just kind of having fun right now, you know? Like, this doesn't mean
like
anything to me, because ultimately it's so short. And it's kind of that, like, as you grow older, you know, your reference of time becomes shorter and shorter. Where, like, you know, when you're young, it feels like days are really long because you've only lived for so long. So, like, if you think about the multiplication scale of that, if you lived 1,000 years, like, these years to him probably feel incredibly short. And, like, to him, he hasn't spent a significant amount of time here, you know? That's another way to interpret it, which I think he does. You know, I think he's lying about his lack of sentimentality at the end. Like, he obviously cares.
Oh, he's definitely
about his
saving
family.
face.
But, he's trying to make that argument. He's making the same Dr. Manhattan argument of, like, humanity is so insignificant in the grand scale of the universe. I live for 1,000 years, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so, I just hadn't heard anyone talk about that sort of, you know, comparing it in that sort of way.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, people love to fixate on the violence, for sure.
Yeah.
And they don't really
not
think about that.
what, like, why he was committing that kind of violence, you know, what it means for him philosophically of humanity is literally ants.
Which is to say, basically nothing. Like, that
and
means
I love
nothing
the way
to him.
they set up for it in, like, episode 3, where there were those aliens that were coming and invading, and like they had a different perspective of time or whatever, and then he goes into their world and just wrecks it. And it sort of created this this interesting look at, like, how he thinks of different people, and it made you think that there must be something special about Earth for him to not do that to it, you know?
Yeah.
And presumably it's that his family was there, and then he has some sort of reason to be there, because clearly alien races to him mean fuck nothing, and he will wipe them out immediately. So it reveals in the end that, yeah, humanity was just like those aliens to him. You know, why would he care more about us than he did about them? He doesn't give a fuck. Like,
they don't mean anything.
We all cheered when
Neither
he
do
went
we.
and wrecked that entire fucking species because we thought they sucked ass, you know?
Yeah.
So I love the way that they set up for that, and then they brought it home in the end, where it's like he does the exact same thing on Earth, but he does it all in service of being like, look at how pathetic these people are, that me and you are above them. We will live for thousands of years. They are literally ants. We're better than them. And so this made that scene incredibly fucking cool.
Yeah. I also think that Cecil is a really cool character.
Yeah, he was pretty cool too.
How often do you get, like, you know, the leader of, like, that kind of organization who has such a nuanced take on everything that's going on around them? Mm-hmm. It's a really interesting stuff.
He is like the last, like, he is humanity's defense.
Literally the last
universe,
line of defense. He's the only one that, like, really seems to know exactly, like, he has any inkling as to what is actually going on.
And he's a classic case of a guy who has literally no physical power and has to use his, like his psychological. He's almost like a Batman, where it's like he has all these resources with the government and stuff that he has to try to manipulate to prepare for the worst.
Yeah, and he has to be willing to make, like, a lot of sacrifices. He sends a lot of people to their death trying to stop Omni-Man, knowing that it's probably a futile effort, but that's all that he can do.
But it's that or humanity.
Yeah, it's that or give up and
you know?
everybody dies.
And fucking just the... God, it's so good in the end, the way that... Well, really throughout the whole series, the way that Invincible gets the shit kicked out of it.
Oh my god!
Constantly. And it's great thematically because it's the coming of age tale of, like, he called himself invincible because he thought he was a big swinging dick, and he's like the most pathetic person in the world because he's this sheltered brat who never had to fight for anything.
Yeah.
And he's in there for all the wrong reasons. He has no idea why he's doing what he does, and then he just gets the fuck beat out of him constantly, and it's fucking hilarious.
Oh.
Because he never puts in the work to, like, really get... He thinks he's training, but he's not, you know?
Yeah, it's very half-hearted.
He's always
like,
thinking with his dick. And then he gets entitled about it because he's like, oh, I put in all this work and I should be, you know, doing this and that. And it's like, well, no, you don't care at all. And everyone knows it. And you're doing this for all the wrong reasons. But, so it's great to see him get the shit kicked out of him all the time. And during the final battle, it was so fucked. Because you just feel that, like, just that feeling in your gut of just watching this kid get fucking ruined.
Yeah. You really feel the fucking floor drop out and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
this is bad.
I'd critique a little bit of inconsistency with Omni-Man's power level and, like, just how tough he can be. Because they establish, like, he's not super indestructible, you know? Like, there's stuff that gives him legitimate struggle, which kind of sets in the irony of, like, his hubris about, like, being an indestructible god and stuff. Because, like, even in the first episode when he fights the other superheroes, like, they give him a run for his money. They fuck him up, you know?
They definitely get some licks in, even though,
like,
you know, of course.
I think, like, he would probably make the excuse of, like, he needed to have it look like it was a fair fight so that it was
plausible, that it wasn't just some god who came in here and smote everybody.
And so that it would make sense that he, like... Because he tried to make the argument that he was there and also got his ass kicked, you know?
So he kind of... You could make the argument, well, did he, you know, let himself get kind of fucked up?
It had to be an enemy that was so strong that could even fuck him up, you know? But, so, like, did he let himself get fucked up? I don't know, but it seems like in the scene, he's getting his ass kicked as well, you know? And it's like this whole struggle with the other superheroes. So it kind of gives you a power level from the beginning of, like, he is really strong, but, like, these guys are also really, really strong. But then sometimes he's
all of them working together
Yeah.
to inflict that amount of damage, if it wasn't something he just let happen.
But then, like, the Cthulhu monster he had a legitimately hard time with, you know?
No.
It's like he's not absolutely
he's
overpowered.
not. He isn't invincible.
Which is, like, the same thing with Superman. Like, culturally, people blow Superman way out of proportions, but he does have, like, a lot of weaknesses, and he gets his ass kicked all the time in in
Well,
like
yeah.
Justice League and stuff. Because
I mean, he has a very obvious
Yeah.
crippling weakness in Kryptonite, like,
Yeah.
duh.
and you know, it doesn't take a super god to beat Superman. It just takes someone who like has some sense.
Sometimes
about,
it
like, how
just
to
takes
fight him.
money or brain power.
Oh,
Ruh-roh.
we have been defeated by the Chameleons. Quest failed. Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
And it's stuck with me. You know, I find
Yeah.
myself thinking about it, which is a sign of something really great when you're thinking about it long after the fact. Unlike
Yeah.
Infinity Trade, where I can't even remember what the fuck
Well,
happened.
I don't think Infinity Train had very much to say,
Yeah.
really.
And a lot of the conversation with Invincible's been around episode 1 and episode fucking 8 or
Yeah.
whatever, and not around everything that was good in the
You don't
middle.
even hear people talk about a lot of the really interesting shit, like the fucking,
The blue guy was
yes,
fucking
the dude who
hilarious.
clones himself and
was
then,
awesome.
like, gaslights his clone into being like, no, you're the clone. And you're like, well, I guess we don't really know who is the clone.
Yeah, because I've always thought that was really interesting, and I'm glad they went into that with the other guy who clones himself too, which is like when his first physical body dies, like he is dead. Like your consciousness
Yes.
doesn't transfer over to the clone. The clone is a new version of you,
Yes.
and you die.
They have all your memories, but that's not you.
And like I think about that with cloning all the fucking time.
We've
of, like,
discussed this on the
yeah,
show.
We have talked about this together, and probably on the on this show. Too.
Definitely
So
on the
I was
show.
really glad they went into that and how it was like for him it was worth it to have a version of him that could be normal, you know, even though he knew it was not going to be like his own continuation, and how like the reason he has to argue about who's the original with his own clone is so that neither of them has the existential crisis.
Right,
of being,
neither of them.
like-
They can both plausibly believe
Yeah.
that they are the original.
And I think there's an implication that the original is long dead.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
for sure.
Like-
The original is definitely long dead.
But that's like what it just makes it's so interesting to me, like the dynamic of being a clone that like thinks you're the original and
Yeah.
the original doesn't exist, and like you are
And then there's
dead,
another
you
clone
know?
that you bicker with about both of you being the original.
Clones
like...
are a trip. It's a crazy concept, and that's my favorite way to approach it.
Yeah. Plus the way that it feeds into the plot with Robot and Monster Girl, which
Yeah.
maybe a little creepy. A little creepy.
Oh,
like
definitely
right, like a
creepy.
little creepy.
They wanted it to be creepy.
like we're
for sure.
like this is creepy, right?
That was they
like
consciously
a
made that
grown
creepy.
man doing this, making himself a child to like
Well, it's like there's the gray area because
I
she
get
is
it.
supposedly
like
a
they're
child.
both
you know?
she's
Or
supposed to
not a
be
child. She's supposed to be 26.
20 yeah 26 or something like that.
Yeah, so she is an
But even
adult
then,
that
Robot
wouldn't
is like
be-
35.
Yeah, he's quite old.
So it's like, well, that at the even there, kind of, okay. But then like, she's a kid, and then you make yourself a kid. It's just weird. You're such a
Yeah.
weird stalker. Like honestly,
I like that they very intentionally wanted to make that like a weird, creepy thing, and they
It's
wanted
just
you
like
to kind of
such
feel like
weird
he was,
obsessive behavior.
Yeah.
Like you hardly know her, dude. You don't know who she really is. Like you're her boss on your superhero team, and you're gonna fucking. That would make me like. And then yeah, the fact he stole fucking Explosion Boy's DNA, Rexplosion
Yes.
or whatever the fuck his name was, stole his DNA, made an identical copy, and then he's like, "But I'm gonna use this body to hit on you, though."
and then she's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm about it.
All right, cool. That
Sure.
seems fair. That definitely seems fair.
That was a
Whoa.
very fun subplot.
It just gives me.
It just went so many directions that you didn't see coming. You
Yeah.
know? Like I really didn't expect all of that to happen with the robot, because like with the robot, you just think he's a robot
Yeah,
for a while.
you're just like, oh, okay, he's fucking
and he starts
red
creeping on the
tornado,
girl, and like you could not have predicted that he was actually like a guy
like
who
a weird,
was like
fucked up,
controlling robots through a collective consciousness and shit.
Ah,
Crazy.
oh, I don't like it. Ugh, fucking big creep behavior, my guy.
But he's disabled.
I don't care, dude. Like, you are too obsessed, and I do not
Yeah.
care for it. Woo,
That was pretty
gears.
This is a great show.
It's yeah. I mean, honestly, like I wish people weren't so fixated on just it's violent.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's more than that though. The violence has a purpose first of all,
And
so
it's
it's not
super not
violent just
edgy.
to be violent.
Like the whole thing has a bright color palette, you know, and it's like
yeah, it has a very traditional superhero color palette.
it never felt grim dark at any point. around that. It always had a
Yeah.
sense of humor and cool
And I mean,
things going on.
Even at the end, the message is one of like positivity and like
Yeah.
hope and like that humanity, even though we're inconsequential, like you know, there can be meaning there.
And the point was to be a coming of age story for this character, you know, and a daddy struggle and a privilege struggle and like finding out how to be his own man and not just follow in the footsteps of his dad and all the classic
Yeah.
coming of age tropes that you get out of one of these stories, which makes me really curious about where it's going to go and what role Omni-Man will play, because it was so focused on like
That dynamic.
that relationship of father and son, and so now it's like what happens when we get out of the coming of age and get into more.
Yeah, when we move on to other.
Interesting enough, when I was flying home from Ohio, I saw someone reading the comic
Oh.
on his phone,
Cool.
and I saw some further stuff. It looks like a lot
Ruh-roh.
of those, like the Seth Rogen guy is going to become like a pretty major character and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Huh.
But I didn't see any like spoilers or anything. I just saw like characters fighting and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. That's the other thing is like this show has a lot of like big celebrities in it.
Yeah, it's got a pretty good.
And they're actually
vocal
pretty
cast.
good at voice acting.
Yeah.
Of course, J.K. Simmons we already knew is an excellent voice actor
I mean,
because
Seth
he was in
Rogen's
Legend of
been
Korra,
in all kinds of
and
stuff.
Seth Rogen has done a lot of animation work as well. But I don't think I've ever seen Sandra Oh do any voice acting, but
Who's
she did a
that?
really good job. She's been in a lot of like older movies, and I think she was in one of the weird American Sherlock remakes.
But hopefully, it's because it seemed to have picked up a lot of steam, especially through memes. That
Yeah.
hopefully it'll have a nice big budget for the second season, because I'm sure they spent a lot
Well,
on the voice actors and didn't have as much.
You
for
can tell that the
animation.
animation was not their primary focus.
It's funny because people praise it, and I'm like, dude, it was shoddy as fuck, dude.
No.
It was inconsistent as hell.
This show has a lot of good things. The animation is not one of the things that is stellar about the show.
Yeah.
Don't go in there expecting Sakuga, because you won't get it.
You'll get like what is an attempt at Sakuga, but like at a piss poor frame rate, you know?
Yeah.
Not quite a.
But you
if
know,
we get into Castlevania season 4.
I was gonna say,
God.
transition.
Speaking of Sakuga.
Speaking of Sakuga. But yeah, so just yeah, final thoughts on Invincible. Go watch
Pretty
it.
fucking
It's
great.
really
Definitely,
good.
I
A
would
lot
say
of fun.
Definitely a superhero must watch.
Oh yeah, if
you're into that.
you enjoy superhero cartoons,
Yeah.
absolutely go watch
If
it.
you're a fan of Young Justice or anything like that.
Seasons 2 and 3 are already confirmed, so you know there's more coming down the pipe. But even then, season 1, great standalone. It'll keep you entertained.
Oh, and we're aware that it's by the guy that did The Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
we know,
If
we
you
know.
type that comment, please delete it. I find it pretty insignificant. I mean,
Yeah.
if you had that prior knowledge going into it, you would have known how edgy it was gonna, like
Exactly.
how violent it would have been. But yeah, and I'm glad that this guy's material is getting an adaptation through a cartoon instead of a fucking live action thing that
But
ruins
wait,
it, you know?
simultaneously, there is a live action version of Invincible.
No!
Yes.
That's gonna be fucking
So,
annoying.
you know.
Especially when there's already like
Right?
a probably perfect
It's
adaptation
like,
of it.
First of all, I don't want to see this in live action because live action isn't going to be able to accomplish the things that animation can do for this story.
It just sucks. It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna be like a CW fucking superhero show
Well, it's
where
gonna
everything
be-
is overwrought and dramatic and fucking trash.
It's gonna be an AMC superhero show, like The Walking Dead.
Ah.
It's gonna be a complete bastardization of what the comics were, to the point where it may as well be a completely different franchise.
So that being said, when that if this is not just a rumor, when it does come out, I don't know, may or may not give it a try. I feel like it definitely. There's almost no chance it can live up.
I mean,
To the animation.
we'll end up watching it for sure, but it'll suck ass probably.
Yeah, no way it's gonna live up to
The
the
superhero
cartoon.
live action stuff always sucks.
Yeah,
They're always
that's
so
the
fucking
thing.
lame.
It's just
And like, it's not gonna
there's
have the
no chance.
violence the same way. Like,
Exactly.
the boys had plenty of violence, but it's not the same. You know,
Yeah.
it can't be as like thorough and detailed as it can in animation, where it's like
There's just
so fucking
so much more
gruesome.
nuance I think you can put into violence like that in animation
And
that
they'll
you
make
can
it
never
edgy,
do
you know?
in real life. Exactly.
Like, the
It'll
fun
be
of it is that it wasn't
super
edgy, and it's gonna be super edgy. How do you do like the blue guy with the clone? And they're just gonna cut
It's
all
gonna
that shit.
Yeah, I mean, if they do it, it's gonna come across as like really cheesy.
Stupid
It's
and
gonna be so
corny.
cheesy. I just can't see that panning out well at all.
Yep.
So not really looking forward to that, but I am looking forward to forward to seasons 2 and 3.
Aw.
Ooh, boy. Anyway, we watched season 4 of Castlevania!
Yay!
Victor! Did you enjoy Castlevania
So, I
season
mean,
4?
I think I enjoyed season 4 the most out of all the seasons. Well, disregarding the end of season 3, which is fucking hysterical. That, I mean, you can't top
Oh my
that.
god,
That
nothing
was so
will ever
fucking
be
funny.
better.
But like, I did enjoy season 4 more in the way that, like, I still hated it,
Yes.
but
course.
I found it to be more fun because I felt like it was taking itself a little less seriously and knew how retarded it was. Because like it felt like more like in season 3 they were doing kind of like where Trevor Beaumont's supposed to be like a goofball, even though he's like his voice actor completely betrays any writing they could possibly give him to sound like an edgy like Dante type character. I feel like they want him to be Dante, but he sounds like Boromir because that's who he fucking is, and so he can't fucking sound like or whatever the fuck that guy. Because Boromir's the other guy, not the Hobbit. What's the Hobbit's name? 'Cause
Which
he's the dude
one?
from the Hobbit, the main Hobbit from the Hobbit movies.
What? It's fucking the guy who was in Sherlock?
No, not that guy. Not Bilbo.
Oh.
He's like the, you know, because in the Hobbit movie it's all about the war and the, or no, he's a dwarf. That's what he was.
Okay.
He's a dwarf guy.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's who he is. He's the dwarf guy from the Hobbit who was like the main dwarf guy.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and he sucks ass, and I hate him.
Yeah.
And I think
He's certainly
just
not a
shitty
voice actor.
He sounds like he's got marbles in his fucking mouth, and it drives me insane. And I can't
Well,
believe that people defend it all the fucking time.
let's
And I think
be
he's so
fair.
fucking terrible.
Let's be fair here.
All the voice acting. Is bad.
Every
Yeah.
fucking voice actor in this show sounds like they have a mouth full of chicken salad and they're like trying to speak while they're chewing. It's like, stop it! Enunciate! Speak up just a little bit. Don't be afraid to put some fucking emotion in your voice.
And like, I think
God.
people defend it, and it's like I get where it kind of sounds like it's almost like Dark Souls voice acting, where it's trying to sound like hyper realistic, but it works in a game like Dark Souls because you don't see their mouths moving. In Dark Souls, it's just characters giving a monologue to you because it's spooky and cool and it's aesthetic. Like in Castlevania, I'm trying to listen to a conversation and I just hear, and then everyone says, if you count the fucking bloody number of times they say fucking and bloody in this show,
Stupid
it's
bloody
like,
fucking
God,
horse!
shut the fuck up! I
Bloody
get it!
fucking horse!
People say bloody and fucking. I get it. I bloody fucking get it. Shut the
Yeah,
fuck up.
but Victor-
Please write something other than the same stupid vapid shit.
Victor-
I get it. You're edgy. Shut the fuck up.
But what about the bloody fucking horse?
The bloody fucking horse. There's this moment where Alucard's like standing there and this guy
He's
comes
just
in on the
pissed in
horse
his
and he
lawn.
goes, "There's the bloody fucking horse again." You're like, why? What did the horse do?
There's a dead guy on this horse, and Alucard's just like, this bloody fucking horse. The horse didn't
God.
do anything.
They just don't
Why are you so
stop.
mad?
It's like it loses so much impact anytime anyone says bloody and fucking. It's just like, write something else, please. And you're on season 4, and people say bloody and fucking 10 times an episode.
Castlevania season 4, yo, honestly, it's like such a fucking mess. Like the whole season, I'm really not fucking sure what the plot is, honestly. Like,
I mean, the plot
get
was
that
very simple.
the overarching main thought is that they're trying to bring back Dracula.
Yes.
I get that. But then you get into like the fucking Lord Fuckwad who's trying to control the interdimensional library, and like, oh my god.
Okay, I'll break it down. So there's like 4 plots going on.
Yes.
There's Trevor Beaumont and his girlfriend.
Yes.
And they're just like trying to make the world a better place, I guess, by hunting guys. And and the whole time they're going like, we should really settle down and come up with like a plan of like how to actually enact change in a meaningful way. And then they don't do that repeatedly.
The family
and they
business,
bring it up like
hunting
like
things.
like you're supposed to forget between episodes because they focus on everything else in the world, so they'll remind you again of like, oh, we're having this trouble of like how we just want to settle down. And it's like, okay, well, who cares? And then they just kind of they just stumble their way into the overarching plot of bringing Dracula back to life.
Yeah.
So then there's the main overarching plot of like the bad guy wants to bring Dracula back to life, and so he's doing it by like he's also trying to find his wife who's mute, and
Yes, his
and
his
is in
hot
another
big mommy
dimension.
GF who literally doesn't speak.
So he needs to use like the dimensional key and sacrifice a bunch of people to open a gate to hell to bring back Dracula so that he can get his wife back or whatever the fuck. Who cares? God, that was a shitty character. And it was
He just
so
came
boring.
out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden, so like his introduction really is what pissed me off the most, because they introduce him
So
and he's just
bad.
like some scam artist jack of all trades who's like bullshitted his way through life, basically.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't seem to have any actual skills. He just kind of shows up in the king's court and goes, oh, I'll juggle for you, I'll make you a fucking sweet roll, I don't know. And then like he's walking through the halls of a castle one day and some big mommy knight comes down the hall and
Big milky mommy night.
and a drunk guy like threatens to grab her ass and she like breaks his fingers.
Yeah.
And he just like, Lord Fuckwad comes up and he's like,
oh,
damn,
horny milky mommy, he won.
I like the cut of your giblets, lady. And she says fucking nothing.
Yep.
And then they have a montage of them falling in love wherein she continues to not say a goddamn word while he runs his mouth about how hot he thinks she is. And then like I guess they're dating and like then they open, she gets sucked into the interdimensional library and she's like, bye.
It was
She
so
doesn't-
confusing, like why
she
this was
doesn't
happening.
say bye because she doesn't ever fucking speak. But she's like, bye, and Lord Fuckwad's like, no, but my big mommy Milky GF. And so he spends the rest of the show trying to open the interdimensional portal and summon a hermaphrodite made out of Dracula and his wife so that he can
Yep.
control the interdimensional library and get back to his big mommy Milky GF. And literally, when he succeeds in this plan, what does he say? What does he fucking say, Victor?
I don't. Oh yeah, he just wanted to get his dick wet, basically.
He just
right? What'd
goes,
he say?
oh yeah, I'm gonna have sex.
Yeah, he's like, literally like, I can't believe I'm gonna have sex.
And I'm like, this is writing! Someone wrote this dialogue.
Literally, his whole plan was just that he wanted to fuck his girlfriend again, and so he
He
needed to bring her
just
back to life.
wanted to fuck his big milky mommy GF. Oh my fucking god. This whole show has just built up to this old dude wanting to fuck his big booby waifu. Like,
He was just such a boring, unlikable character for them to fixate on
he
a
just
whole bunch.
sucks. He sucks
It felt like
so
he came
much.
out of fucking nowhere, and it became all about him all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, the whole plot revolves around him wanting to fuck this
Yes.
silent
'Cause
woman.
There's a hilarious moment when you get his backstory, where like he had appeared in one of the previous episodes that I couldn't remember what the fuck he did. But like he was involved in one of the subplots, I think.
He was like when they first went to the library in Dracula's castle. He like
Yeah,
appeared in that
something like
portal,
that. And it was
and you were
like,
like,
who
"Who the
cares?
fuck was that?" And that was
there's
it.
You have no reason to think that he's gonna be a character that matters at all. And then there's like fucking Alucard goes and meets some fucking dumb. He has his fucking.
So the bloody
lame-ass
fucking
subplot.
horse takes him
Yeah.
to a village that needs to be protected.
And so he goes into the village, and then like he runs into that guy passively, and so that was their reason to give his backstory. So it cuts from Alucard is fighting some stuff, he's in the village, this guy walks up, says some stuff, and then we get an entire episode of his backstory, and then we cut back to present time, and it's
6
just
weeks
like
ago.
yeah, and it keeps being like 6 weeks ago or
It's like
whatever.
6
and
weeks
it's like,
ago from when, my guy?
like, why didn't you just do an episode about his backstory? Why did this have to be in the middle of like shit we don't care about and we don't even remember that it was happening?
So what I love about that is Alucard is fighting all of these night beasts, and then when he finishes killing the night beasts and he's talking to the lady who runs the village, Lord Fuckwad comes out of the toilet and he was like, oh yeah, I was hiding in the toilet and I'm supposed to like this guy? The coward who hid in the toilet and is simping for his silent milky mommy GF and is willing to
Well,
kill the entire universe for that?
It's because he's supposed to be like the, no one expected him to be the ultimate bad guy, because he was
Wow.
so like underwhelming.
Gee whiz. So
Just
cool.
a lame, boring character.
So yeah, you got Alucard, you got Lord Fuckwad, you got Trevor Belmont, and Sypha is, I think, the girl's name.
And then you've got the black dude's plot line.
Hector.
The fuck he is, Hector.
With the only good character in the show, Lenora.
Yes,
who
is
hot,
wasted because
and
she was super
of course
hot.
fucking dies.
You only get to see her naked once, even though the
God
show
damn
keeps
it!
teasing you about nudity every
sex
time.
and nudity, sex and nudity. You lie.
Gives you no sex and no
You don't
nudity.
get to see any more of Lenora's tits.
Only
Fuck
Lenora's
you.
tits in one episode in season 3.
God damn it!
Uh,
How dare you?
and so like
Castlevania lied.
That's like the main overarching plot, you know, of the series has been about that plot line, but it like just kind of, it was weird. It just like didn't focus enough on what was going on there in meaningful ways to make it like feel
It's just like
cool.
something about the writing is just so incompetent that you can't follow what's going on.
Here's the structure of Castlevania and the root of my problem with it, which is the way it's written, that I find super fucking obnoxious, because it has the structure is vapid conversation that's supposed to be character development, you know, but it's usually a bunch of dialogue that if you cut it out of the show, it would not change the plot whatsoever, because it's always like a contained conversation that really doesn't have anything to do with anything, where characters try to be charming and affable, but they sound like they're grunting through life, and so it comes off as just super fucking stupid, and the writing is not interesting in any way. And it's those conversations sandwiched in between fight scenes that feel like they come out of fucking nowhere. And
sometimes the reverse shot conversations interrupt the fighting.
Yeah. And so it's 90% of the time, every conversation is between two people who are just standing there.
Yep.
And it's reverse shot of medium close up of their face, and they're just talking at each other for 5 minutes straight, and you just go like, God, I want to die. I don't care. Shut the fuck up, please. God, I don't care. Fuck, I don't care, man. I just do not care. And so I feel like I want to die, and then it jumps into a fight scene, and the fight scene will be like way over animated with Sakuga out the ass. Season 4 was just like popping the fuck off at all times, but the fight scene will be like, Alucard ran up to a village and killed some monsters. And like, you could clip it out and nothing would change.
Yeah.
Most of the fight scenes until the end, you could clip it out and nothing would change, because it had no weight to the characters, no weight to the plot. Completely insignificant. The only thing that happened was there was Sakuga. And so it's like, the Sakuga can be neat and cool, and like they try to do a lot of creative things, and you feel like they're trying. You know, that's where they're trying. Like, someone really tried to do Sakuga in this show.
Yes.
Whether or not it
succeeded.
I mean, it looks better than Sword Art Online Sakuga for sure, you know? Like, it's not always just flailing in nowhere. Like, especially
That
towards
is
the end,
true.
it gets some pretty good choreography
Alicization has some
and
pretty
stuff.
fucking awful Sakuga.
But it's like, it's sound and fury signifying nothing, where it's like, there's no narrative stakes. You know, none of the characters are gonna get hurt in any way.
Yep.
Like, everyone's so fucking powerful that it means nothing, and they're fighting just like random fuck off monsters. Who cares? And so like, until like the last 2 episodes, it never felt like meaningful at all, you know? Beyond like, there's the one scene where Hector's fighting the main vampire lady, and that was kind of cool, and like, it was a bunch of guys coming at her at once, and it was like, oh yeah, that was a cool scene.
Oh yeah.
But we didn't need every other fight scene in every other episode leading up to that, because there's like 2 fight scenes per episode, and most of the time it feels like, we need to pad out this episode, let's have a fight scene at the end, because what else are we gonna do? I don't know.
I mean, I will say, I think you actually did miss the best fight in the show.
I went and like peed, and I missed
in the time
best
that you
fight
went
scene.
to the bathroom to pee, the Viking vampire lady who's in Lesbians with the petite vampire lady, they're out on the battlefield, and a bunch of humans attack their camp during the daytime. So her soldiers can't come out and fight, but Viking vampire lady has this magic, like, metal armor that protects her from the sun.
And it's the dog armor.
Yes,
Berserk.
it's Berserk dog armor. It's Guts' dog armor.
She's literally just a copy of Guts.
It is. She is just
blatant.
Guts, and she
has
comes
a big
out.
sword, right?
And yeah, I think she has a big sword as well.
Yeah.
And she comes out and she fucks their shit up, and that was like the coolest thing that happened in all of Castlevania. And you were in the bathroom the whole time it happened, so you missed the best thing in Castlevania.
Yeah. And the problem was that I was so fucking bored bookending that scene that I was just like, I don't care, I'll go pee. I'm not missing anything.
So yeah, you missed the best thing in all of Castlevania.
Yeah. Which I could just go watch on YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
you might
you
as well just
definitely
go on
could.
Sakugaboru and watch all this shit, because, like, that's... like, it's nice that someone commissioned a bunch of Japanese animators to make the coolest animations of all time, but, like, go watch Mob Psycho or One Punch Man, where there's, like, plot.
Watch a show with, like, good plot.
Yeah.
And
It's like,
Sakuga.
the thing with something like Mob Psycho where it fucking pops off in the end with Sakuga is that, like,
Jesus.
the characters and story are really amazing, and so when you see all the Sakuga happening, you feel really hype because it feels so earned and so
it's like,
awesome.
you know how you love Mob and you've spent all this time with him and you want him to get that character development, and then when he does it and you get the Sakuga, you're like, yeah, that's my boy, I love you,
And then, like,
you're a
even
good boy.
the end of Castlevania Season 4, major spoilers here,
Uh-oh.
but, like, it turns out that the plot to revive Dracula was all a plot by Death. Because he
Yes.
wanted Dracula to come back and kill everyone in the world so that it would make Death powerful again or some stupid
Make
shit.
death powerful again, I guess.
And it was like, really, it comes out of nowhere in the last episode. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
so I'm supposed to care about Death, I guess? We didn't build him up in any
right?
way.
It's so left field that you're kind of like, huh.
And then, so, like, they stop Dracula from coming back.
well,
and
no,
then-
it's like,
well, they think they do, you know.
because Lord Fuckwad was trying to make that hermaphrodite chimera, so they bring in this hilarious chop shop body that's like,
Yeah.
the only way you know it's half male, half female is because it has one titty and one peck.
Yes.
And then
it's hilarious.
he tries to shove Dracula and his wife's soul into the chimera, but like just as he does it, Trevor like breaks the shield into the
Yeah.
room and it fucks up the ceremony. And so it
was
just, their
lame.
souls just like go away.
And at that point, I was really hoping, like, that Dracula and his wife would be combined as this fucked up chimera. That would be a new character. We'd have a whole
Yeah, it's
arc
like, oh,
in
that would be
season
a
4
cool
and 5,
villain.
And, like, yeah, that would be a cool villain. Like,
It's
what if it
they're,
really fucked him up, you know?
They're these people who are like soulmates, but they're being trapped and bound into the same body, and their male and female spirits
Yeah.
are fighting against each other. Like, that's a neat
And it
kind of
reminded me
idea.
of, like, in Mazinger Z, that character exists, where it's like a king and queen that were combined into the same body, and they have a male and female half, and it's like a full realized character with that dynamic
Wow.
going on.
Huh.
And it gets
But-
really interesting.
But Castlevania doing something interesting with an interesting idea? I don't think so.
Yeah, so that completely devolves, and then it turns out it was Death's master plan, which, when there's a brief time when they are in the Chimera body, which was really cool. Like, the animation there is really sick.
Yeah,
where they
it
animate
looks
the
really
Chimera
neat.
in a very interesting way, because it's like being torn between two consciousnesses and stuff. And, like, that
Yeah.
was pretty cool. They brought in a nice animator for that. But it was very short-lived. And then, so, at the end, like, everything is good, the day is saved, basically. Death is gonna go back and fuck off, but Trevor Beaumont decides, I need to kill Death. I'm morally obligated as a Beaumont to fight Death and collect as much research as I can, or whatever, because, like, that's their purpose of existence, is to fight
To
these
document
monsters.
monsters.
So he decides, I need to fight Death. And so you have this big bombastic action scene where he's fighting
Oh my
Death, and it's
God.
Sakuga off the chain for minutes straight, and it's like super epic and crazy, and then he kills Death, but it's like, it came so out of left field, and we had no narrative reason for this character to really, like, feel compelled to fight him. There's no
Yeah.
stakes, there's no feud between them.
It's just kind of like,
Death
well, he
came out
would
of
have just
nowhere
left.
at the end. It's like, it didn't feel like Mob fighting Big Bad of Mob Psycho Season 2, and it's like, these, you know, this has meaning, this has purpose.
Like, that scene to me just felt like a visual run-on sentence.
Yes,
where
exactly.
it's like, the battle kept happening and happening and happening and happening, and you're like, yeah, I get it.
And it was right
Okay,
after we just had epic battle after epic battle
okay.
after epic battle, and it's like, God, just
That's the thing, is,
calm
like,
down.
Pacing. You gotta give people some room to breathe in between these battles. Like, God. Oh my God, dude.
And it feels bad, because it's like, I feel bad complaining about too much Sakuga in action, but like, when it
But like,
doesn't mean
Sakuga
anything,
with
you know?
no context is kind of boring when you just layer it all on top of each
Yeah,
other.
and it's like, I might as well just watch an AMV. Like, why am I watching this, you know?
Yeah.
It feels like the director of the show just went like, oh man, I have this budget and I can get these animators, and like, I'm an anime fan, and so I want to have Sakuga popping off, and like, this is what the fans want and stuff, but it ultimately just feels like, well, why even have all the dialogue then? Just cut it out and just give me like a movie that's all Sakuga. Like
Right.
what are we doing here? Why are we on this adventure? I don't care.
Also,
Everything that happened with Alucard was super boring.
Oh my god. Which Alucard's like biggest thing that he had to overcome was like walking the village back to his castle through a forest where there was a bunch of night beasts. Like, okay.
It just ultimately feels like a character development and plot that someone else finds really interesting, and I just am not there for it, you know?
Well,
I'm just like, I don't care.
It was just executed in such an awkward way where, like, these characters are having these horrible, boring, drawn-out conversations that are interrupted by battles, and then the battles are interrupted by boring conversations, and so you're just kind of like,
And they go so far to make fucking Alucard have all this Oyaji Moe shit going on.
Is that what that was supposed to be?
Well, they try to make
Alucard
him
is
Moe
too
all
young
the time.
to, like...
I don't know if it's Oyaji.
Okay.
He's like fish out of water Moe.
Yeah,
you know?
okay, that makes sense.
That's his whole character, and it's like, I get it. Like, he's fish out of water Moe, but like, what's he doing? You
The
know?
problem is, in order to be, like, fish out of water Moe, you kind of have to have some sort of ability to emote and, like, express yourself, which Alucard doesn't do, like, ever.
And in the end, they reunite all the characters through a Deus Ex Machina, and it had this feeling of like, but like, were they missing each other? Like, I get that. Oh, they're finally back together after 2 seasons.
I didn't get
like...
the feeling that they were like, man, I really miss my BFF Alucard. They were kind of doing their own thing. They were fucking and fighting monsters, and you know, they had a thing going.
It's like a bunch of okay ideas that are weighed down by a bunch of shitty ideas and bad writing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind a lot of the stuff that went on with Hector and the other guy, and like the life hammer he was using and stuff, and like the usurping the vampires, but it was like, it just felt underdeveloped and weird. And
I mean,
like the Guts girl lesbian had like, you could have cut them out of the plot. It would have made no difference.
Yeah,
you know,
they really
it's just
didn't
like they
need to
weren't
be there at all.
They just needed to be established as not being in the castle so that the other guys could attack, I guess.
Yeah, and even like the stuff with the bald guy who was like who killed the fucking lead vampire lady.
Yeah, that's what
it's
I
like,
was talking
okay,
about.
well then,
that was Hector.
what came of that? No, Hector is a silver-haired boy.
Oh yeah.
Who made the hammer?
What was the other guy? The bald guy's name?
I don't fucking know.
Mace Windu.
Yeah, Mace Windu. So nothing really ever came of that. It's like he
beat the vampire lady.
He killed her, and then I presume he's residing over this castle, but to like what end?
He's supposed to be the overarching thing of like he's bringing about a new era
world.
Of like the vampires are stuck in tradition, and he needs to bring about the new world order by exterminating all the vampires so that humanity can continue and blah blah blah. But it's like whatever.
And all of that, of course, leads to Lenora deciding she needs to just kill herself because there's no place for her in this world.
It's like,
great.
Okay,
all
so
right.
we ran out of things to do with you, so you're
like,
gonna die now.
The only female character that had any kind of nuance or, you know, development just decides, oh, you know, I'm just gonna die. I just want to die, actually. That's what I'm gonna do. Die.
Yeah. I guess the fucking Mace Windu is kind of supposed to be like the Khaleesi, you know, where it's like, oh, the looming threat that's coming through and gaining all this power.
I guess. That's probably what they
and it's
wanted.
Gonna change the order of the world.
But that's not really what actually happened. So...
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I get it, why people like it so much, you know, but it's just not
also,
doing it for me.
I hate that they kind of, like, undo any emotional weight to the end of the story where like Trevor fights death, he dies beating death, but then at the end when Sypha or whatever decides to stay at Alucard's castle because they're starting a village there, and then Trevor just shows up on the back of a bloody fucking horse and he's alive.
The bloody
fucking horse. There he is.
And he lives. And then it's like they had this whole fucking drawn out conversation about like the repercussions of his death and what are you gonna do and blah 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 and oh you should join us and oh she's pregnant now and then it's like completely undone 5 minutes later, like why?
I was like, oh, there he is.
You had like an entire fucking epilogue episode that meant nothing.
Yup, because there's Trevor. The only character in like the whole show who had any kind of repercussions was Lenora because she's dead.
Yup.
Yay!
And it's like, yeah, it just feels like a show that that like the people making it really like it and really like all their characters, and like it exists for people that just really like it at this point.
I mean, like, I feel like if it had better writing, I could see what they've found to
Yeah.
be appealing about the characters. But as they are,
All it needs
it's
is
just
like
dull.
Trevor needs to feel like Dante, you know? Like if he
Yeah.
felt like Dante, I'd probably like the show.
Honestly, I
and I
think
think
if
that's what they think he is.
I think if Trevor had a better voice actor, I might like him more.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's so bad that I don't, and I can't.
And if he were consistently like a fun fuckboy who did interesting things in situations, you know, where it's like they'll give him like fun fuckboy things like occasionally,
Yeah.
but then it feels like weird and out of place, and like
Because
the voice
he's
actor
so
doesn't sell
serious
it very well.
and dull that you're
Yeah.
like, all right.
It feels like an old man
well."
grumbling through all this shit.
And that's the thing is, like, I feel like it's a huge waste because Sypha's a pretty good character,
Yeah.
and she has a lot of, like, fun things that you can play off of because she has a sense of humor, and she'll be snarky, but she also has,
Yeah.
like, a strong sense of morality, and so she's a good character to play off
And
of.
they try extra hard to make her a badass and give her all these girl boss badass moments.
Oh my god.
You know?
And then she gets fucking Killua's god electricity power,
Yes.
which she only uses, like, twice for no apparent
I mean, she
reason.
has the classic, like, completely arbitrary power level where it's like she has all these abilities and it's just limited by her creativity at any given moment.
Yeah,
And-
just how
and
much
some-
she feels like using it.
And like sometimes any character could just absolutely fucking wreck everything around them, and then other times they can't, and it's like I don't know why. When you just like we just saw you obliterate all those guys, and
Yeah.
now this guy's giving you trouble. I don't really know.
Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense.
It's just for the sake of being cool
It's
and the
drama.
choreography of the moment.
Yeah.
God
Aw,
damn it, man. We were
Come
so
on, Jemmy.
close.
What the fuck?
Jemmy from the block, fucking me up.
God damn it, Jemmy. He was almost dead. So, I mean, at the very least, I did laugh a lot while we were watching
Yeah,
it.
it had plenty of hilarious moments.
So that's good. Because there were seasons of Castlevania where I did not laugh and I was bored.
Yeah, 1 and 2 felt really, really dry. 3 felt mostly really dry until
The end.
But season 4, it was like we had a lot of good riffing and laughing.
I was
going on.
consistently laughing
I
at
gotta
season
pee.
4.
Hold the show.
Okay.
I'm gonna go downstairs.
I'm holding the show. You guys can't see. I'm holding the show in my hands right now. I have my hands cupped in front of me. They're clasping at the show. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's Memorial Day weekend, so just you know, if you have a 3-day weekend, remember this is a holiday that exists because we live in a country where we must continuously be at war and send soldiers to die so that we can have a Memorial Day. Because if we didn't constantly go to war and get soldiers killed, there'd be no reason to have an extra day off at the end of May. And that's what I think really matters. I think that's really the core of what brings us together as a society here in America. We need to remember the true spirit of Memorial Day. Wherein we all make hamburgers with our extended family to honor the troops. I'm sorry if you're a veteran. I'm not trying to disrespect you. My best friend is a veteran. But I think he would agree that the military is fucking stupid. The fucking military industrial complex in which we prey on minorities and the impoverished and people who do not have a way to easily move up in life because they do not have the resources or the structure within their local economies to attend college or to obtain a decent education or a decent job. So just remember, we live in a country where this is purposely constructed to keep the lower class going to other countries and dying to fight wars that we probably don't really need to be fighting. So there's that, and also free Palestine. In case you were wondering what this podcast's stance is on the two-state solution, in Gaza and Israel, in case you were wondering. Yeah, because it's cool. Just commit a cultural genocide every once in a while. I mean, Lord knows America loves doing shit like that. So I can see what the appeal. I can see the appeal, you know? Sometimes you just need to assert that your culture is the best culture and other cultures just don't need to exist, honestly. Hey Victor. I see you're coming back up the stairs here. I had a nice little spiel about Memorial Day, which then led into me randomly talking about Israel and Palestine.
Oh, God.
What is your opinion on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict?
Free Palestine, obviously.
See, I told you that was the the United Front stance of this podcast.
Yep.
Leave a 1 in the comments section if you want to free Palestine. By the way, show your support in the box below.
I saw my aunt post something today, Memorial Day related, which is like, Memorial Day should not be a weekend of celebration. It should be a weekend of grieving.
I was literally just memeing on. I was just riffing on that, like literally.
So I'm like, well, what about like the Latin Day of the Dead, you know,
Latin,
like Mexican.
Yeah,
I don't know. They do
Dia
it
de
in
los
other
Muertos.
Latin countries,
but,
you know.
Victor, I think Dia de los Muertos doesn't have an implication that those people died fighting wars.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know, you're supposed to take death and like celebrate it for, you know, you celebrate the lives lost.
I think the issue with Memorial Day is that people see it as a day to go grill with their families and not as like a day to be like, damn, we really did murder a lot of Americans in pointless wars, huh?
Agreed.
So I think that's really the issue.
Yeah.
Whereas Dia de los Muertos is a day of love and respect for your dead ancestors and showing how appreciative you are of all the things they did to get you to where you are and showing them respect and admiration. Memorial Day is about eating jalapeno cheddar hot dogs with your boys.
Jalapeno cheddar hot dogs with the boys.
Let's be real. Cracking open a cold one. Eating some fucking eating some dogs and some boigas.
Should I fight the Harlequin Apex Mizutsune?
Oh, very
Like
nice.
Is
it Harley Quinn?
Yes, Harley Quinn.
The Harley Quinn Apex
The Harley Quinn Apex
Mizutsune. Very nice.
Ooh, I ended up thinking about fucking Invincible again.
Of course you
so
did.
Much thoughts on Invincible. I wanted to make my prediction about that there must be something in the plot related to the reason for Omni-Man not just annihilating Earth from the get-go is that it must be a viable breeding ground for his people. Because I think they have something that's going on with their ability to breed that leads them to seek out alien worlds to reproduce on.
Definitely possible.
And the fact that he was able to give a viable childbirth, you know, that grew up and had superpowers, means that any Earthling can have a viable childbirth that will grow up to have superpowers.
Perhaps,
so,
yes.
you know, maybe certain alien worlds, like, obviously their genetics aren't going to match, and they're not going to come out the same, because obviously
the Viltrumites are humanoid, so it makes sense that they would need another humanoid creature in order to have viable offspring.
Because they talk about, you know, having other races join their shit, you know, their coalition.
They assimilate.
But he didn't give that chance to those other aliens that he would fucking annihilate.
He was just like, nah.
Clearly there's a selective process here.
It is true.
So I'm like, maybe that's why, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, you'll see. We will eventually see.
That's my prediction. It has to do, because it to me has to have something to do with breeding, otherwise he wouldn't have had a kid on the planet, you know, unless he was just fucking around. But he very clearly
that's a lot
waited,
of responsibility,
you know?
to take on for fun.
And he waited to train him and everything before
he spent the full 18
the
years,
Earth. And it seemed like that was the reason he was there, was to conquer the Earth. So he needed to, like, have a viable offspring before he did it, you know?
Yeah. Though that does make you wonder, like, well, I guess if you live thousands of years, like, maybe once your wife naturally expires, you can just move on to the next one and have another kid. What's what's 60
Yeah.
years to you, right?
That's what I'm saying. You know, he just goes and he only needed 18 years, and then he was gonna
I
annihilate
mean,
the
you
entire
know,
planet.
if you wanted to maintain the facade of a family
Oh,
until
yeah.
your wife died. Though,
Well,
I guess you'd
I don't
stop
think that's
getting
part of the
older, so
plan.
that could be a problem, huh?
Yeah.
People would eventually start to wonder why you've looked 50 for 60 years.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I thought that could be an interesting plot point. It seems like that would be the reason. Otherwise, like, you would just marry a Viltrumite and have kids with them, right? You
Yeah,
know?
you would think so.
And it seems like they were like a dying race because of their constant warring with each other and shit over because only the strong could survive.
Yes,
They were a warrior
they,
clan.
They did an auto side.
Yeah.
Is it a genocide if it's against your own people?
I suppose not.
Interesting.
It's an homicide, yeah.
Whoa!
Any
Whoa!
Yeah, isn't he cool? The apex.
Go,
Oh,
Jesus
he's spooky.
Christ!
Oh, he's spooky.
Firing his lasers, man.
Wow.
Oh Christ! Oh God! Well, moving on from animation, do you want to talk about Resident Evil Village?
Sure.
All right. So, Victor, did you enjoy Resident
Yeah,
Evil
it was a
Village?
lot of fun. It was a
Yeah,
great
a lot
game.
of fun. Yeah.
It was a fun, good time.
Victor, was your favorite part of Resident Evil Village the amazing protagonist Ethan Winters and his
Oh, yeah.
indestructible hands?
I thought you were gonna talk about Titty Lady already, but yeah, I
well,
mean,
no.
Ethan Winters fucking sucks ass. Everyone knows. It's definitely the worst part of the game is that the main character is a fucking just the worst. He's
Someone-
just so fucking lame.
Someone fucking tweeted Ethan Winters is a Disney adult, and I'm like, yes,
Yup.
that's it. That's the aura. That's the energy.
He's just someone's fucking dad. He's like Jerry from Rick and Morty.
Oh my
Like,
God, yes.
It's basically a story about Jerry being the hero.
Indestructible Jerry
God.
just fumbling his way through defeating all of these monsters.
And you can only you can't help but root against him. And then at the end, you're just like, yes, Chris Redfield is gonna cuck him. He's gonna take his wife for his own. It's so great. I was like, yes, Chris Redfield's gonna fuck his wife. This is amazing.
Oh my God.
He earned it.
Chris, you've earned this.
You've earned his hot wife that he doesn't deserve.
I mean, to be fair, I also don't like Mia.
Yeah, but you played the first game and I didn't.
Well,
so
yeah,
there you go.
I watched someone play the first game, and I also felt like Mia was a complete bitch
I
anyway.
mean, she's kind of a trad
Like,
wife.
she's kind of a piece of shit. She kind of, like... She doesn't really have any kind of character except being kind of a pain in the
Well,
ass.
but she cute. But she cute though. She wife. Save wife cute. Save cute wife.
No, I don't know.
Wife cute.
I don't think
Save
so.
cute. Save cute wife.
I kind of hate her. I
Yeah.
kind of fucking hate Mia. She sucks. She's so just like... God, she always acts like, you know, she's trying to protect Ethan, but then she, like, does all this shit that is going to inadvertently come back to bite them in the ass. Like, not telling Ethan about, like, what he really is and what the deal with Rose is. And it's just like, God, you fucking suck, dude. Just be honest. Don't, like, do this passive-aggressive bullshit.
But then
Fuck.
there are no plot.
Yeah, well, that's true. God, she just sucks so much. But, I don't
I mean,
like
they both
Mia.
suck ass. They completely suck ass. Ethan is the worst character ever conceived.
As I stated in our failed Resident Evil Let's Play, it's like,
Yes.
who the fuck is Mia compared to Jill Valentine? Fuck Mia.
Well, I mean, Mia's also not the main character, so I don't think she has to be that interesting.
I don't know, man. She sucks. It's hard for me to root for Ethan when I don't like Mia, and then I don't like Ethan. I'm like, well, I don't
Yeah.
like any of you. You all suck.
They should have made Mia the main character and gave her a personality, and then made Ethan the damsel in distress.
That would have been pretty funny. It's like
And then he'd
when
be like, why do I want to save this guy?
Chris
I
is
can
the
go fuck
best
Chris
character
Redfield.
in the game, that's the easiest to like get on his side.
Yes.
It's like, damn, you have a problem, my
Because
guy.
Chris Redfield comes off as like the seasoned veteran who's just tired of this
He's
shit,
just like,
man.
God.
He's just seen so much shit. He's tired of people
He's
dying.
just some Chad who comes in here and he's like, oh, I guess I have to sweep up everybody's mess.
He has no life and has
God."
just been dedicated to stopping this evil.
Oh my god. Really the saving grace of this game truly is like that Ethan is so hateable. Like, he's such a fucking kick the dog kind of guy. And then the villains are also fun.
Yes.
And, like, interesting and unique and charming in their own kind of ways. Like, obviously, Lady Dimitrescu is, like, the best villain. She's the coolest. She's a badass. Everybody wants to fuck her. Like, we get it. She's the coolest.
Yeah.
And when you kill her, I kind of like had this moment where I was like, oh, I don't feel good about doing that. I don't want her to be gone.
So fast, you know. No one expected it to be like the
as soon as you
quarter of the
see
game.
there's 4 villains,
Yeah.
it's like, okay. And then the first encounter is her. It's like, okay, well,
Yeah, she's
clearly
gone.
she's gonna be the first man eliminated. That sucks. But when we killed her, I was like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
feel good. I don't feel happy. I'm not like, yeah, we beat him.
I mean, I thought it was great because she turned into a big.
I mean, she was
monster.
super cool, like
Yeah.
super Bloodborne.
I mean, I think I'm the
choice.
only person in the world who doesn't care that much about her. Like, and she's neat and all, but I wasn't
I just
like,
think she's cool.
Oh, bust my nut to fucking lady.
I don't want to
big
fuck
booby,
Lady
big mommy
Dimitrescu. I just think
milkers.
she's neat.
Yeah, I mean, she was a cool design and she was a cool concept. I mean, she is just like a evil rich lady, and
Yeah.
like, you know, she's just like a Cruella de Vil.
I think
but-
like just through being on Twitter and watching everybody love her so much,
Yes.
I also developed an
I think
attachment.
that made everyone very endeared to her, and I'm just like, I don't know, you know, if she weren't big, no one would care.
Yeah, I mean, definitely if she wasn't 9 feet tall,
Like, she wasn't
people
that
wouldn't
interesting of a character, you know? I mean, she had a cool aspect with, like, oh, she created, like, the daughters and stuff, and, like,
Yeah.
that was neat, and she's, like, this Lovecraftian horror creature, like, that's cool.
care. Yeah, and I mean, her house is fucking sick.
Yeah,
Like,
she
Lady
has a cool
Dimitrescu's castle is the coolest. For sure.
But at the end of the day, she was just some vapid evil lady.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, all of the characters are just like,
yeah.
goofy Resident Evil
Tropes. They're
villains.
tropes.
It's fine. That's fine. That's not a problem because as
Yeah.
long as they're interesting and like entertaining in their own ways, I have no issues with that. I know.
And then she Bloodborne.
And then then she became a Bloodborne. I do love the fucking setting of the game. Like, the Romanian
Yeah,
village
super
is
cool.
super cool. Though I even like the werewolves, honestly, especially like
Yeah, I
the
like that
more
it was,
fucked up werewolves.
I like that it was a new kind of monster for Resident Evil, and then they didn't explain it in any way.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
just
kind of
like,
interesting.
they're werewolves, you know.
They just kind of were werewolves.
Yeah. I especially like the further transformed werewolves where they have like more of the wolf face, but it still kind of looks human and the mouth is really long.
I mean, they
think that's
definitely
neat.
did an odd bait and switch where it seemed like a game that was going to be about vampires and werewolves.
Yeah.
Because, like, you get the lichens, it's like, okay, you associate that with vampires immediately because of
Yeah.
Underworld and all that kind of stuff. And then, you get a big vampire lady, and then it's like, oh, wait, they're not vampires, they're bugs. And then, like,
Yeah,
well,
they're flies.
why are these guys lichens? They just kind of are?
They
Okay.
just
That
yeah.
had nothing to do with the plot. Ah,
They
I
just
see.
are. It's fine. And I know a lot of people, like, to me, definitely the weakest level was Heisenberg's level.
Yeah, but,
but-
it's the end game gauntlet level, you know?
Yeah, but as far as the portrayal of the character, I thought it was pretty fucking funny.
Yeah,
Pretty
he was very
entertaining.
funny.
I love the, like,
was just
off-brand
Nick
Nick
Cage,
Cage. So I guess the voice actor and the voice actor is the one who did the mocap for Heisenberg, and he's British, but he put on the fake Nick Cage accent, which I love. I think that's fucking great. I think it's hilarious, and it fits with the goofy nature of the game. I think a lot of people probably don't like it, but I did. I thought it was a lot of fun. And of course, one of the best things in the game is the absolute PT homage that is
Spooky Baby
Bien Viento's first part of her level, where the fucking terrifying demon baby stalks you.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have mixed feelings about that part because I think it was a great part in the mansion. Like, that house was fun, and like the baby was super cool, and it was
Yeah.
super spooky, and I like
Very
that
scary. I
they
don't
mixed
like
up the
it.
gameplay, but I do think they completely wasted that character
Yeah.
in terms of, like, you go in and it felt like the level was half as long as it should have been. You
Yeah,
know?
definitely.
That was my only problem with
I
that.
definitely think the back half where you just find Angie, like the doll, I think just finding her and then you stab her
That
4
was a
times.
very lame fight.
That's super lame.
Very uncreative.
Super weak way to end the level, but the baby part was genuinely very tense.
Yeah.
And it
part was
definitely
cool.
had like a lot of really, really obvious influences from PT, like the way the hallways were set up, and just the way like some of the door opening when you like walk past it, like that's a very like that literally happens in PT. Not the doors, never open by themselves in horror games, but the way that it was staged felt very like PT. And the baby felt like something you would have seen in PT as well. Because there was a lot of fucking baby themes in PT.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. Gameplay great. Chris Redfield part absolutely fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Where all of a sudden you play as Chris Redfield for a
And you
mission,
are God.
and it's like, why? Why am I playing this right now? This is so fucking pointless.
I definitely had a bit of a gripe with, I think, the Mother Miranda as like the main villain.
Yeah, they just didn't do much with
You
her.
don't really get to like see much of her, or like she's not really built up as a big bad aside from everyone being like, wow, she's a bad bitch, and I'm like, cool. I don't personally know that. I have not seen her do anything besides murder one villager, which Lady Dimitrescu does all the time. So how do I know that she's any like scarier than she is?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I would have enjoyed getting to see a little bit more from her and having her character built up as a bit more of a threat, rather than just
backstory and everything,
rather than just hanging out in the background the whole time.
It turned like, I liked that she had like the backstory of, it explains how she created the mold and everything, and how she was related to the, she knew the other guy who made the T virus and stuff. Like, oh, that was really cool, but we got that in like text logs.
Yeah, I mean that's just something you read from a laptop. Like, okay, that's cool, but I would have really liked to
had the potential to be a lot cooler.
have a little more insight into this character.
Yeah.
And her motivations, like, I just can't help but draw parallels from this game to the first Silent Hill, with like, Ethan Winters, Harry Mason, two shitty dads looking for their daughters in a mysterious town that they have no familiarity with. The main villain is like a big spooky female leader of a cult who are trying to bring back their daughters by sacrificing this person's child. Like, the plot parallels are definitely quite significant in my opinion.
Yeah.
Of course, with Silent Hill being the better atmospheric game, and Harry Mason being a much better dad than Ethan Winters. And all around a better character, because he doesn't fucking talk all the time.
Yes.
God.
Him talking is the worst part of the game.
Ethan never shutting the fuck up is one of the biggest problems.
It comes full circle into being hilarious.
Yeah,
and therefore
definitely.
Fun. So it's like I wouldn't want to remove it.
It comes back into being hilarious, but it makes Ethan so lame.
It's one of the things. It's like the problems I have with the game all come full circle into being things I like about the game.
Yeah, it definitely comes back into being funny and like almost a charm point.
Yeah.
But
it was very corny.
It makes Ethan a character that you can never genuinely like.
Yeah, and then they try to give him a heroic sacrifice.
That's the biggest thing.
I want him to die. Who cares?
Yeah. It's like when Ethan does a big "ooh, I'm a good dad" sacrifice, it's like, okay, well, I'm not particularly sad because you suck and I don't like you, so yeah, go ahead and die. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know, I don't know how on board I am with his daughter possibly being the protagonist of the next game, and her having like
it could be cool,
the
but
superpowers. I mean, and again, that's another similarity to Silent Hill, where like in the third Silent Hill, Heather Mason, Harry's daughter, who was abducted by that cult and then like kind of given low-key god powers, is the main character of Silent Hill 3, and she is really cool. But I don't think they're not going to handle it the same way with Rose.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like
They'll
as
make
cool.
her super angsty and
Yes.
annoying,
Which Heather was she was kind of teen angsty, but she also like didn't take herself super seriously, and she had a lot of like levity at times. So she's a really like interesting, well-rounded character who you feel like could be a teenager but isn't annoying.
Yeah.
And I don't know that they're going to be able to do that with Rose, because even the brief interactions we saw with Rose and like the post credits, I was like, I'm not vibing with this. You're kind of annoying. You seem like you're really full of yourself, honestly.
Yeah. So, who knows? But And I hope it doesn't become like a superpower action story with her.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Is because she has those supernatural powers, it's gonna become like a blast all of the enemies with your fucking psychic bomb
Yeah.
scenario.
But who knows? It's hard to imagine them actually making her the main character.
Yeah, I mean, who knows where we'll go from here?
Yeah.
We've completely deviated from like classic Resident Evil for many, many years.
Yeah.
So,
But I hope they go with a completely new game style, because that makes it more interesting. You know, the perfect Resident Evil is already out there, and like they're not gonna make a better version of it.
yeah, I mean, Resident Evil Remake is obviously the perfect Resident Evil.
And like I like new approaches to gameplay style. I like that they took what they learned from like doing the RE2 remake and put that into the RE8, and it was made better from that, you know, in
Yeah.
interesting ways, where they you know, it seemed like they definitely took inspiration from that game for certain aspects of it.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, all that being said, all the gripes and whatnot, it was still a really fun game, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed watching Vic play it. So it's not as though I did not like the game.
I can actually imagine myself replaying it on a higher difficulty, you know, and like enjoying it more than once. I shoot the bombs.
Nice.
Oh no, it's Beetlejuice.
Oh no,
Gotta kill Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
We're doing the rampage.
Ruh-roh. My voice is
Yeah, it's
starting to get a little
get raspy.
yeah, a little raspy.
What else have we watched or played or consumed?
That was my list. That was it.
Is that everything?
Unless
I thought we did more than that.
unless you have something that you remember.
We watched the Adventure Time special.
Oh yeah,
Finn and Jake one.
the Finn and Jake one.
That was pretty good.
Together Again.
That was pretty fun.
What's the name of that one? Yeah, it was neat. I liked that they brought back the fox,
Yeah.
and he was actually important to the plot, which was really really entertaining.
It's definitely a probably the most fan servicey one of the special so far, in terms of like bringing back old characters and like memes and
Yeah,
like, this is an OVA, so we're gonna have this character show up and do his joke.
yeah,
Because lol, they're all dead, lol. But I did enjoy the exploration of the afterlife in the universe of the cartoon, and it's sort of the continuation of the plot as like they gave you a definitive ending in terms of like not only the end of the characters' lives, but their future after the afterlife, because like it. I guess in the land of Ooh, you are reincarnated into a new form, you
yes.
know?
I mean, as we already know, because of Shoko.
I don't remember.
Shoko was Finn's previous life. Remember?
Oh, yeah. I forgot
So that's
about
been
that.
long established
Yeah, I
that like
guess
you
so.
are reincarnated.
Yeah, but it was cool that they had it end that way, so that you could have like the, you know, Finn and Jake shall, you know, their souls live on in new forms no matter
Yeah.
what. Even though they'll forget all their memories, but they'll live a similar life together as they're
Exactly.
eternally reborn. And so that was a fun way to end it,
Yeah.
and
Very neat. Very cool.
it felt like quite the definitive ending to their characters.
Yeah. It was
Without any nuance of what happens to them, you know? It's like, there they go.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can also presume that there's, because at the end of the show it had the forward to like it was showing the one guy had become really, really big, the kid who the lich was put in his body, and the big baby.
Oh yeah,
It's a
yeah,
big
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
And then at the end of Adventure Time, the show, they have like the epilogue where it's the future, and the big baby's become really, really big, and he's walking around, he's got a sword and stuff, and then it has the like the Finn and Jake-esque characters that go up and are looking at him, and it's like, oh, this is a new Finn and Jake, and the new adventure shall continue. And so it's like, now it feels like those were meant to be the reincarnations of Finn and Jake, and it was meant to imply that because now we've been
Yes.
given them being reincarnated. So you could safely presume that those are Finn and Jake's souls, you know, living on, and maybe that was the intention from the beginning.
Exactly.
So it was a cool definitive conclusion, and I like the aspect of like Finn actually grew old and died of old age, and you can kind of presume that Jake did the same thing because he's a dog and he
definitely,
doesn't
yeah.
live very long.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, he's a dog,
It was
clearly.
pretty neat, you know.
Yeah, I enjoyed that quite
It
a
was
bit.
fun time. Fighting the guys, fighting the guys, fighting the guys. I wish we could continue, because after this I'm gonna be hunter rank 50, I think, and we could fight the different guy. I guess we're out of stuff to talk about, huh?
That and my voice is like actually going to give out.
Oh yeah, you're sounding pretty.
I'm pretty raspy.
Pretty raspy. Well, we at least got to finish this.
Yeah,
this
no, we'll finish this horde, but I think it's
been a good run. We're probably approaching 3 hours. Or something.
Probably, honestly. I hope you guys enjoyed this mega dump of content.
Jesus.
I hope you enjoy listening to it on 2x speed.
Enjoy the dumpy. Freaking hope content dumpy.
That's what you're gonna name this, right?
Oh my god, would this dude finally just fucking hit ready so we can fucking do the next horde?
Oh god. Okay, so he's holding you up. I got it. I watched a movie called Ghost Watch yesterday. For those who aren't big fucking pretentious horror nerds like me, it's a BBC special from 1992 that they aired live on Halloween. And the reason it was it made a big fuss because it was presented as though it was all happening live, as though they were investigating a haunting in this family's home while there was a host in studio. And the gimmick is that as the evening goes on, this haunting progresses, and the fact that it's being aired live on TV acts as sort of like a seance that magnifies the haunting, and so the haunting starts happening in homes all across the UK, and people are like calling in and talking about all this like crazy shit that's happening in their house, and then the haunting ends up in the studio, and the host ends up possessed by this ghost, and it just ends with like all the lights in the studio going out and the host like wandering around in the dark talking to himself. And apparently a lot of people were really upset by this when it aired in 1992 because they were not aware that it was fake. Because, I mean, you think about it, 1992, like found footage shit wasn't really a thing yet. Like it was not popularized at all. So for that to have been aired live on Halloween and presented as though it was factual, yeah, I mean, if I was like a kid and I saw that, I'd be pretty fucking freaked out too. I would have probably shit my pants. But yeah, that's a classic, of course, within the horror nerd community. So I'm glad I finally got around to watching it. It was pretty fun, and it's free on archive.org if you would like to watch it. It's only an hour and a half of your time. It's some good spooky vibes. It's good, it's good.
Big spooky Zenogre.
Yeah.
Extra scary.
Ruh-roh. He's trying to get through that gate.
Shit, I've got the Zenogre hammer. This is terrible.
Uh-oh. Well.
I did like a random assignment, so I didn't know who I was gonna fight. It's okay, I'll use the cannons and stuff. Yeah, cool movie.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
If you guys follow Discord, you know that I played the fuck out of Pokemon Snap. I was thinking about doing a follow-up video for that just to show off all the like end game levels and stuff, and how to find all the legendary Pokemans. So I completed the Pokedex and found every Pokemon.
Nice.
And then I spent probably like a week like grinding out scores trying to get like a world record, and I got like top 10 world record on one level, but then it's just like the meta evolves too fast and people are too good at the fucking game, and it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
Pokemon Snap was fucking great. It was really good.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time in there.
Yeah. It was definitely the best version they could have made of that, and like it exceeded my expectations greatly, because they were quite low.
Yeah.
If you know from the start of us playing the game, like it definitely was a great experience, and felt worth $60 somehow, you know. It was like, wow, they actually really tried to make a good Pokemon Snap game, and like it has a lot of end game content and it's fun to continually play, and like the online leaderboards are fun and everything. It's like this is actually good. This is a great game. They put a lot of work into this. There's so many fucking secret Pokemon poses and shit that it's like first of all, you cannot find them without a guide. Like it gets so fucking cryptic, it's insane. But it gives you that great feeling of like especially being on the beginning end of it, is like people are actively discovering new shit about the game, in a way that you don't get a lot anymore, because it can be so difficult to find all this stuff that you have to look at guides and you feel like, oh, I could discover something that no one's really figured out yet, So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was exactly what you'd want out of a modern Pokemon Snap game. They kept the spirit of the original alive with all of its crazy pathways and stuff to figure out and different interactions. Definitely a lot more grindy, but once you're done grinding, then it kind of levels out and becomes more fun. So you have to grind up the fucking levels for each instance. Oh god, I am exhausted from doing this. I'm done talking.
I'm like, my voice is actually hurting.
So fucked up. I'm hungry. I need food.
You hungry?
It's probably dinner time.
I'm sure it must be. Let's see. It is 6 o'clock, which is approximately dinner time.
It's okay. We just need to kill this guy.
Yeah.
Then we're done. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me play Monster Hunter. As I just randomly fight random dudes with no rhyme or reason, and you probably have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Chances are they're not even watching the
exactly.
footage, so it's okay.
So let's play Monster Hunter so I can just zone out and not really pay attention, because it's just muscle memory at this point playing this game.
Good for facilitating conversation, for sure.
Yeah. It's like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, where it's like, alright, I've played this enough times that it just comes to me naturally. It's pretty easy to fuck around and not die in this game if you have a team, Yeah. All you have to do is kind of just get out of the action.
Gohan, why didn't you dodge?
Definitely fucking, if you have a Switch, get Monster Hunter Rise. It's fucking great. I've probably got
I don't even want to know.
80 hours.
Really? Only 80?
Yeah, I mean,
I would have thought more.
It takes a long time to get 100 hours in a game.
Yeah, that's true.
I played the fuck out of some Hades, dude.
That's true, that's true.
75 hours is pretty fucking good.
No, yeah, I'm not scoffing at your time at all. Just thought it would have been more.
Well, because I got into Pokemon Snap for a while.
That's true.
But, I have not gotten to the end of this game yet, because they just put out the last update, yesterday.
Yeah.
Or a couple days ago, I think.
Mm.
Which is, this guy was part of the update, the Apex Zinogre.
Yeah.
Ooh!
Man, I got to do my favorite thing a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah?
I got to go to a baby shower.
Yay!
Yay!
How's that?
It's great. It's great.
Were there babies?
There were a lot of
showering?
children.
There
were
that's
a
kinda gross.
lot
Why are
of
you watching
children.
baby shower, dude? That's gross, bro. That's fucking weird. Why do they call it a baby shower? It's
I don't
fucking weird
know.
as
I
fuck.
really why is it a bridal shower? You're not.
Oh, yeah.
I guess you're showering the bride in gifts.
Oh, that's probably what it is.
Maybe
I hope.
you're showering the baby in gifts. Yeah, that's probably it. That makes actually
Wait,
a
is
lot
that
of
guy
sense.
the fucking Apex? What the fuck is that?
No,
he's just freaking out. I know, he's there because I think he'll actually fight the other guy.
Oh.
Sometimes another Apex guy will come in.
Oh, that's nice.
The
How
Zinogre
thoughtful.
is definitely the big bad of this
That was
run.
very kind of him.
Ah!
Gotta protect the gate, boys.
I don't think I've ever failed one of these. So.
Ruh-roh. Well, today might be the day.
Who knows?
Nice.
Gotta get some in the face.
Gotta do a big smack.
There's lots of damage.
Does a lot of damage.
For some reason on the raid battles you do shitloads of damage all the time.
Huh.
I guess because they have way bigger health pools.
Probably, yeah.
Fuck!
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Did the big explosion.
It's a big boy.
Jesus Christ. Ah! We can do it. We can get him.
I really gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So close.
I know. So I'm guessing you just need to...
Just gotta kill him.
Oh,
Gotta beat him.
you have to actually kill him.
Yeah, you gotta kill him.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, or he breaks the gate and we lose if he gets in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I got that part.
Why is this not facing him? Jesus Christ.
Uh.
No! Go up!
Woo!
The fucking shit. Big laser cannon.
Oh, uh-oh. Them boys gonna fight?
Hope so. Fuck him up, dude. Eh. Uh-oh. Shit, I didn't heal myself a lot. There we go. Now I can do the big blast.
Uh-oh. Oh. Well.
Did I do it?
No, I don't
Shit.
think so.
Fuck.
I think you got booted.
I got knocked off.
Oh, somebody fainted.
Oh, someone got it there yet.
Okay.
Drop this fucking nuke. God, if we fucking lose, that would be so bad. It would suck.
That would suck.
Oh, no!
No!
Oh god, we're gonna lose. Oh no! No, don't lose. How many deaths do we get on this mode? I have no idea.
I have fucking no clue.
We're still in though, so.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone died all at once. Fuck.
Yeah, both you guys died
Ooh,
simultaneously.
oh shit, I think we're actually running out of time.
Well, isn't the
think
counter
the
signal just
countdown-
gonna give you more
yeah.
help?
Yeah, but like, I think we're actually running out of time as well.
Oh, I see.
Get this fucking machine gun.
Well, hang in.
Come on, buddy. We can do it. Hey, we did it! Yeah! We killed the
Got
big
him.
Zenogre.
Get right. I like the doggy witch armor. It's cute.
Nice. Mine's Anubis.
I know. I saw him.
My Anubis dog.
I saw doggy.
He's like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
He does look like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Alright.
He's got the scale.
I saw. I really gotta go to the bathroom.
He's scale?
so
Yeah, go to the bathroom.
I'm gonna-
I'll end the show.
I'm gonna go.
I'll send us off.
Okay. Bye, guys. My voice hurts and I have to go to the bathroom.
Just all whispery.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, I gotta actually go turn off the recording.
Bye.
Bye! Hopefully it's still recording too. That would be bad if it weren't. And it's sleepy again. Wake up. Wake up, computer, so I can turn off the recording. Yay, we're still recording! 2 hours and 45 minutes. Bye! Thanks for watching.